GTA. Oh, GTA. Oh, GTA. Oh, GTA. Why? We knew that it might happen, knew that the greed would be strong. Game so good, toes tapping, but we still hoped we'd be wrong. A vast world to explore, oceans of champagne to pour, cars to drive, planes to fly, but why GTA? Why? 80 bucks is bad enough, but fine, we'll deal. Life is tough, but locking shops and missions away. Unless you've got the cash to pay, it sucks, no other way to say it. If you wanna have fun, you gotta just pay it. Games could be the great equalizer, but we've go you just being a miser. It sucks, no other way to say it. If you wanna have fun, you gotta just pay it. Life is tough, but locking shops and missions away. Unless you've got the cash to pay, it sucks, no other way to say it. If you wanna have fun, you gotta just pay it. Games could be the great equalizer, but we've go you just being a miser. It sucks, no other way to say it. If you wanna have fun, you gotta just pay it.
It does. It does kind of suck. Just a little bit. I'm going to play the other version. It's 1:50 long while I finish getting set up, and then we'll get going. Thanks, fam. Listen to a slightly different version of the same slop. Here we go.
Oh, GTA.
Oh, GTA.
Oh, GTA.
Oh, GTA.
Why?
We knew that it might happen, knew that the greed would be strong. Game so good, toes tapping, but we still hoped we'd be wrong. A vast world to explore, oceans of champagne to pour, cars to drive, planes to fly, but why GTA? Why? 80 bucks is bad enough,
But fine, we'll deal.
life is tough, but locking shops and missions away.
Unless you got the cash to pay.
It sucks, no other way to say it. If you wanna have fun, you gotta just pay it. Games could be the great equalizer, but we've go you just being a miser. It sucks, no other way to say it. If you wanna have fun,
You gotta just pay it.
80 bucks is bad enough,
But fine, we'll deal. Life is tough,
but locking shops and missions away.
unless you got the cash to pay.
It sucks, no other way to say it. If you wanna have fun, you gotta just pay it. Games could be the great equalizer, but we've go you just being a miser. It sucks, no other way to say it. If you wanna have fun,
You gotta just pay it.
There you go. It does kind of just suck. I mean, what else do you say? It's like, yeah, kind of sucks. But the whole thing is just so stupid. But you know what? Here we are. We're going to talk about it. We got to talk about it. There's a lot to go through. Because, it's a good day, an exciting day. I should have known today there was going to be like info drops, because you cheeky New Zealanders, it's a land of mystery and whimsy, truly. But in New Zealand right now, it's already Thursday at 4 a.m. So they are opening pre-orders. They're already open in New Zealand. So it makes sense that at midnight in New Zealand, they opened it up for pre-orders, and then they wanted to have all of the info drop happen then. So I guess I should have known. But yeah, if you're in New Zealand, you can order I'm going to be real. I imagine all of you guys living in hobbit holes. Is that insensitive? Or is that just realistic? That's what I imagine. I flew over part of New Zealand in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm just saying, I didn't see any houses. Saw a lot of mountains, a lot of rolling hills, you know? So I'm just saying, makes sense to me. Lore accurate residential homes. Yeah, I mean, yeah. it's like when I knew somebody that lived in the UK, and this is like circa lockdown era, and she was under the impression that like most people in the US drive like pickup trucks, wear cowboy hats and cowboy boots. Like she thought that was just America, was like a very specific sliver of Texas, metrosexual Texans. You know, and I was like, I guess some people are like that, but most of America is not quite like that. It was just very funny to me. So I just want you guys to know, if you're in New Zealand, that's what I imagine. I imagine you guys living in hobbit holes. Anyway, how are you guys? How's everybody doing? We'll talk about GTA 6 stuff here just a minute. Don't worry. We're going to get into all of it because there's some stuff that is readily available and that is very, very easy to find. And then there's other stuff that's been buried and spread out. And then, of course, shocker, there's a good amount of made up nonsense that's also floating around that we will also debunk, because there's a couple things where it's like, we don't know that. Like, why are we saying that? Can we calm down? You know, calm down for a minute and then we'll get to it. Lone Wolf, thank you for the sub, by the way. Right as we were getting started. Also, Chanster, thank you for resubbing 20 months. Ooh, baby. I get the door. He says, I quote, I get the discourse with GTA 6 paywalled content. Red Dead 2 did the same thing with exclusive cosmetics and gang hideouts. This stuff isn't super surprising, and honestly, they know people will pay for it. Lol. Yeah, well, and what it made me think of instantaneously was actually Hogwarts Legacy. People forget about that. But Hogwarts Legacy Dark Arts Arena. Like this was its own crazy thing. Deluxe edition only. This whole quest line and this whole battle arena where you could like freely use the the forbidden spells, they locked this behind the deluxe edition. So it was also behind a paywall. And then other stuff they did, they also had like the best quest, in my opinion, the best quest in the game, which was the Hogsmeade quest where you get your own shop. That was locked behind PlayStation 5 versions of the game for a year before it went to everywhere. So it's just, it's crazy how this type of thing happens, but inevitably it happens with games that are big enough that they know they can get away with it. Like, let's be totally honest. That's what this is. They are doing it because they know they can get away with it, and they will. So it, as the song said, it just kind of sucks. But we'll get to it. We'll talk about it. Let me pull up Rockstar's official website, because that's kind of the hub of most of the stuff we're going to be talking about as we get into it. But thank you guys for the subs right off the bat over there. Trafalgar D-Law, thank you for the 2 as well. So will shops be locked in deluxe? Yes. Some. But there's also a lack of clarity. So we'll talk about it. But yeah, there's still some question marks. Some stuff is vague enough that it could be really, really, really bad, or it might just be bad. You know, like, so we'll talk about it because there's still some question marks surrounding this. But we'll get to it. We'll talk about it. Armin Coleman, thank you for the 5. After seeing Wolverine gameplay, I believe he might be able to destroy Captain America and Spider-Man in a death battle. No hate to Spider-Man, though. No, I send lots of hate to Spider-Man, frankly. Not. I can't wait for somebody to clip that. Be like, Luke's an outspoken Spider-Man hater. He's bigoted against spider people. I don't know who would win, frankly. I'm not as entrenched in comic book lore. I'm sure there's an answer. I'm sure there is like a canonical answer who could win, but I don't know. Ray Flo, thank you for the 5 as well. Just popping in while I'm on break. Sucks that the Steam Machine sales will give other platforms to raise their prices. Rip $300 to $600 consoles. I personally think the Steam Machine is going to sell out, but I think it's because they've made very few of them. So I think that it's not going to sell particularly well. I mean, I don't know about you guys. Quick pulse check in chat. Have you seen a single person excited or like into the $1,000 price point for the Steam Machine? I've not seen a single person. Like I've like unanimously across all of the internet only seen people go, yeah, no. I haven't seen a single person who's like, hell yeah. But maybe, to be fair, maybe they're just scared of getting bullied. But SRW, we found the first one, says I am. I don't know, man. I don't know. Totally not Saj, I think. Thank you for that. Just says hi. I wish you a good day. Goodbye, my friend. Yeah, I've not seen a single person that's like into it, so I don't think it's gonna sell hardly at all. I think if anything, where it's priced and how they're doing it, they're just gonna try to get it out the door, get rid of the inventory they have. They'll probably leave it sold out for a very long time, and then in like 2 years they'll price cut and they'll adjust. But yeah, I don't think that thing's selling much. So I don't think console manufacturers are looking at the Steam Machine going, we'll do that. I don't think so. I think they're looking at that being like, ooh, so that's how people react to a $1,000 console. Okay, maybe not. Never mind. Like, I think that's the reaction. I think that's probably what it is. It'll sell out. Well, yeah, but you can sell out with a ridiculous price point if you have low enough inventory. If you have 5 units and you sell out of them, that's not that remarkable because you found 5 whales willing to throw money at you. The real indicator is if you have 1 million units sell. You know, so I expect it to sell out, but I'm guessing a lot of it will go to scalpers. You'll see it on eBay listed for $2,000 a pop, and they won't sell. So I don't think so. I think it's going to sell out, but I don't think it's going to be indicative of anything remarkable, because I don't think they manufactured hardly any of them, personally. So yeah, just my opinion. Cancel me. I don't care. Temperance, thank you for the 5. If we knew more about GTA 6, we would be able to compare standard and deluxe, but we just know too little apart from Ultimate Edition bonuses. Yeah, well, and we'll talk about that here in a second, because there are some things in here where it's like a spectrum, because there's the way things are phrased in a couple of spots could mean that this much is exclusive. Other ways you could interpret it mean it's just this much that's exclusive. It's not super clear, but we'll go through it and try to present both sides of it, and get through there, you know. But it's going to be interesting. And then Armin Coleman, thank you for that one. I can't wait for Spider-Man Brand New Day. If I'm right, I hear Spider-Man might not hold back in this one, and Real Hulk is back. Fire. We'll see. I don't know. I've kind of checked out of the Marvel stuff. I'm gonna be real. Like I went hard during the Infinity Saga and during all of that stuff, but as I think most people my age did. But since like Infinity War and everything, I've just been kind of like, I've totally checked out. For a period there, they were launching like 3 or 4 movies a year, and none of them. Like they had to make them in a way where you could watch any one of them and it was like, it didn't matter if you missed the one before. So there wasn't really any serious consequence in any of the storylines, but then other stuff would just get overcomplicated. And I don't know, man, it's been tough to keep track. Post Endgame Marvel has been a shadow of its former self. I mean, I feel for the people that didn't get to experience that era, because seriously, going from like Iron Man all the way through was remarkable. I mean, it really did build and crescendo, and it was great. But now, I'm going to say it. I know this is a super hot take. I think Disney Plus streaming kind of ruined the whole thing. Because when you're trying to do exclusive shows with really low production value mixed in with high production value movies, and you're trying to make them all on the same level playing field to build out this cinematic universe, it kind of ruins the whole thing. It just does. Because it's like, oh, you didn't see Loki season 2, episode 4? None of this movie makes sense. Like, it just sucks. It's like, okay, what are we doing? Like, I just want to go to the movies, man. I just want to go to the movies. Spider-Man or Spider Noir is good, though. It is totally unhinged in the best possible way. Chevy, thank you for the 5. Stan Lee said it perfectly. The winner of the fight is whoever the writer chooses to win. Yeah, that's classic. Exactly. It's just whoever they decide. Okay, I saw that one. Bye. Make sure there's no candles on the desk. You're telling me what to do. You're telling me what to do. I have candles on the desk. Of course I do. Who do you think you're dealing with? Who do you think you're dealing with? Telling me not to have candles in my own damn house. My own damn house. My own damn house. Why does this not want to upload? Come on. Come on. Is it under documents? What the hell did I do? What the hell? I just need to get this picture. Why does it not want to upload? Open file location. Where did it go? Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Jacob, just so you know, I'm sending you the 2 thumbnails to put up with that video. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. Musiques. I always mispronounce it. I'm sorry. Thank you for that 6. The Steam Machine News made for a fun day. I made a reading and maths exercise with it. All of the kids were to build a cheaper machine in class. Oh, that's fun. That's fun because it also teaches them not to just blindly assume things are good values just because they're from big companies. That's a good point. That's a good point. Pod Racer gameplay looks so good. There needs to be another movie. Dude, I will tell you what, that Galactic Racer game, do not sleep on that one. It was like one of the highlights of Summer Games Fest for me. Way better than it has any right being. It was seriously so good. Seriously so good. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it, okay? New segment. Talking about prices and exclusive content. Buckle your butts. It's gonna make you mad. Because they're doing the thing we thought they would do, because they can get away with it, because this is the biggest game of all time and it costs like $3 billion and they need to make their money back. Not that that's an excuse. It still sucks, but I kind of get it. But it's still super annoying because it's going to price people who don't have a lot of money out of exclusive content that probably would have made their experience better. New segment. Okay, we're here, fam. We're here. All right, today's the day. Another info dump of GTA 6. Ooh, sunglasses and braids. What more do you need? They dropped a bunch of new screenshots, pricing info, pre-order information, all of that this morning because New Zealand. Classic New Zealand. I don't know what magic hobbit holes they're operating out of, but they have somehow managed to alter the status of time. So there it is already Thursday at like roughly 4 a.m. when we're filming this. And as a result, they can pre-order the game right now. And that means that Rockstar needed to have the press release go out when pre-orders opened for the first people, which happened to be in New Zealand. So we can thank New Zealand for this info drop coming at this time. But what did we get? Well, we got a bunch of information about pre-order editions, about Ultimate Editions, exclusive cosmetics, all sorts of stuff, new gameplay information, suggestions about performance on console. Ooh. And we're going to talk about all of it because there's two specific things in here that I think just kind of suck. Like, none of it is that surprising, okay? But it can still suck. And I think that there's sometimes a disconnect. People assume that just because something was expected, therefore you're not allowed to be frustrated by it or annoyed by it or like upset by it. No, we knew that they were going to do a couple of these things and it still kind of sucks. Okay. There's just no other way to put it. But the reason they're doing it is because they can get away with it. I mean, let's be totally honest. Like, the reason they're doing it is because they can get away with it. So we're gonna talk about it and go through it. The first and perhaps most pressing thing is the reveal of 2 editions. So they do have 2 editions. Probably will have a collector's edition at some point. But the 2 editions are, of course, standard, and then the ultimate. We're going to talk a lot about the ultimate because there's a lot of controversy surrounding how they're doing this. But the base version is going to cost $79.99 USD or $80, and then the ultimate is $20 more or $100, and that comes with a bunch of stuff exclusive to it. Again, more on that in a second. One of the other tidbits that's important to note is that they do have they're going to allow preloading for the game as well. So if you want to get the game downloaded days before so you can play the moment that it launches, they will allow you to do that. And you'll be able to preload it on November 12th, whether you order digital or physical. You might be wondering, how does that work, Luke? How do you preload a physical copy of the game? Well, it's because physical is a fluid term in 2026. You see, they are going to have physical copies of the game, but as they have clarified already, quote, the physical version of Grand Theft Auto 6 containing a download code inside the box will be available starting November 12th to support preloading. Oh. What? What? Yes, you heard that right. So it is a physical version of the game that is using a digital code. I believe what this is going to effectively look like, this is a deep cut. I know this is going to be surprising for me, coming from me, because you guys would expect me to never bring up a game like this. But there was another game that did something similar to this, which was a fan favorite. Fallout 76 actually did it, where they sold physical copies of the game, and inside was this paper disc. And the paper disc had instructions to redeem the code. And then the code was listed on this like little pamphlet. Do not discard, because this was the game. And that was it. So you could buy the case, but it was just a code. And that's what you got. So we can blame Todd. I think, as with most things, we can. But to be clear, this is not the first time this has happened, but it's always stupid, because it's like, it's a physical version of the game, but it is not physical. It is like a plastic box for a piece of paper. That's all it is. So to be clear, as of this moment, okay, when we're streaming this, there is no clarification if there ever will be a physical version of the game on a disc. Full stop. There are people speculating that after launch, they may go physical and have actual discs. I personally would expect not. But as of right now, there will be no physical version of GTA 6 on a disc. So there is going to be literally no like secondhand copies of the game at all. Like GameStop is literally upstairs crying, which is wild. It's absolutely wild. Or downstairs crying, I forget the meme. Anyway, sorry if you can hear my dog Romeo. He's wailing because he found out how much GTA 6 costs. He's very upset. So there's that. That's kind of the first. And let's be as fair as we can, because some people are kind of braced for this to just be a whine and piss and moan session. Let's try to play devil's advocate. Why do they want to do this? Is it because it's cheaper? Probably. But also, they do not want the game to leak. And you may have forgotten about this because, I mean, plenty of stuff happens. But there was another game that... playable early. There was another game which had copies of it stolen, and people started playing it early because they stole copies of it. And that was AC Shadows, actually. AC Shadows had early versions of it stolen because it was delayed at the last second, if you recall. And so there were copies of it in warehouses, and people stole those copies, brought them home, and they were able to boot it up and play AC Shadows like I think it was a month before launch, because the game was on the disc. And that happened with AC Shadows. And AC Shadows is like here in terms of hype level compared to GTA 6, which is like in the stratosphere. Okay, so just imagine the insanity that would ensue if you were actually able to play GTA 6 early, if you got your hands on a physical copy. Amazon warehouses would be raided, and Walmart warehouses would be raided, and it would be a big problem because most of those places, they get big pallets. When I worked in retail at Best Buy, we would get the copies of the games days and days before they would actually launch and have to be put on the shelves, and they would have big stickers on them saying do not do not display before this date and time, blah blah blah. Like they put all that up there, but they were in the warehouses, and if there was one person who like snuck one of the copies in their coat pocket, they then sell it on eBay for $5,000 or something. That's how this type of thing happens. So I'm not surprised. I actually had been guessing for a while that they might actually go and just not do physical at all at launch, at least. That's kind of what I was braced for, just no physical, because they just don't want to risk leaks. But they found the middle ground, which is to do physical, do physical copies, which at this point, I'm gonna be real. I don't know why on earth you would order physical. I think the only people that will be ordering physical are probably people who misunderstand what they're getting. Like they think they're going to get a disc and then they're going to open it and be like, what the hell? Otherwise, I don't know why you would order physical, because either way, you have to put the code into your console and download the whole game. The physical box, I guess maybe that really is it. Somebody just wants the box on their shelf. And so it's the same price as if you got it digitally, but it just comes with a plastic box. I mean, that's basically what it is. The map, okay. I guess you know, when I think of collecting games and collecting like game stuff, I think of like the game. And so the idea of collecting a game that doesn't have the game just breaks my brain. It's like it doesn't work. But I guess there's that. But that's the first tidbit, okay? That's the first tidbit that's kind of caused a lot of people to roll their eyes, is that the physical version of the game is physical and is just a code, okay? So there's that. Beyond that, we get to the more pressing and dramatic tidbit, okay? Which is where we lead into the discussion of the different editions. So like I said, the game is launching with a standard edition at 80 and then the ultimate edition at 100. To be perfectly clear, because I know there's people that still don't understand the distinction. The story-based mode is launching November 19th. Online launches later. They are not the same thing. I just filmed a whole video last night that we had to scrap because this dropped today. But the point of the video was basically going through all of the crazy expectations people have for GTA 6 and also the misunderstandings related to it. And what the point of the video broadly was that there's a whole generation of gamers whose only exposure and experience with GTA as a franchise are the like 2021, 2022 GTA RP pushes that happened, where like they had roleplay servers across the board with like big streamers like Kai and XQC and people playing those and simulating life, pretending to be a cop, pretending to be a robber, pretending to be an ambulance driver, pretending to be a retail worker, whatever. And so they think that is what GTA is. They think GTA is just life sim online with friends. And that's not what it is. Like the story-based mode is what comes first, online comes later, but there's a lot of people that don't understand that when this launches, it will not have multiplayer. It will not have the life sim RP stuff. Like they just do not understand the distinction. So we'll talk about it, we'll get into it, but I just want to stress, like, online is going to be a totally separate conversation that happens
laughing, rolling
after the
on
fact.
The floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing,
Thank you, Devil.
rolling on the floor, laughing. The live banner covers up half your logo, making it look like a very different symbol at a
Oh, it cut off. Make it look like a very different symbol at a glance. I'm dying. On notifications, you mean? I think. Well, thank you for letting me know. We'll I'll have the team look at it. We'll evaluate. Thank you for letting me let me know to check the banners. I do think it's just important to understand that there's different factions and different eras of players. There's people who played GTA 5 back in like 2013 and that have played Rockstar games throughout. Like there's people that have played Red Dead 2, of course, as well. They played GTA 5. They might have played older Rockstar published stuff like freaking LA Noire and stuff. But there are millions of people whose only exposure are like those old GTA RP sessions, GTA RP XQC. It doesn't even sound like a real sentence. But seriously, like these were huge back in the day, like 4 years ago. People went crazy for these, where it was just people that thought, like, what a title of a video. People think that this is what like GTA 6 is going to be, is just you role playing in different facets of life within the game. These people have never played the story mode. They've never done anything. This is what they think GTA is. So they're going to be thoroughly confused when they buy the game. And then it's like, okay, how do I join a server? It's like, no. So I stress it because there's a lot of people who misunderstand it. And that's why you start to see people thinking like, okay, well, GTA 6 looks great, but where's the alimony system? Where's the system where I can be a cop and where all my friends can be robbers? Like, it's because those people misunderstand what the game is. But having said that, when we look at this, first distinction, online versus story mode. Story mode comes first. RP stuff comes later with online. But then we get into the Ultimate Edition, which is where we get into the controversy, the true controversy. Okay, so we're just gonna break this down. Okay, we're gonna break it down. Ultimate Edition. Welcome to Leonida, the state where anything goes. Seize everything in this massive world has to offer with the Grand Theft Auto 6 Ultimate Edition, an exclusive collection of premium vehicles, weapons, apparel, and action around every corner. Ultimate Edition bonuses are threaded across all aspects of Jason and Lucia's story, with new items uncovered behind each chapter. Okay, now, perhaps hot take. At the outset, I just want to say, I am not philosophically opposed to like cosmetics within big AAA games like this. I understand they're ridiculously expensive to make. And if the way you make, like the way you break even is by allowing whales to spend $3 on a pair of sunglasses, as long as they don't have gameplay affecting stuff, I can live with it. Do I like it? No, but like I get it, you know. Where I draw the line and what I really, really, really don't like is when you have gameplay affecting stuff. So for example, like one of the prime examples of this is AC Odyssey or AC Valhalla. AC Valhalla, like massive game. One of the most common complaints is that it's bloated, right? However, conveniently, guess what Ubisoft sold at the same time? XP boost tokens. So you could buy with real money XP boosts and multipliers to make progress faster, so it didn't feel as bloated and grindy. So if you spent more, you'd actually get a better balanced game. Similarly, you would occasionally hit like walls in terms of difficulty. And those things happen to be fixable if you paid money for the best armor that had crazy high stats. Because it would be one thing if it was just a cosmetic. If it's just, you know, a different shirt and glasses and haircut, it doesn't affect gameplay. That's whatever. I don't care. But when it has gameplay affecting stuff and then you're balancing the game around that, that's when it starts to just be like, I really don't like that. I think that's unacceptable. But if it's just cosmetics, I get it. I can live with it. But if it starts to seep into gameplay modes and features and stuff being locked behind paywalls, I don't like that. So hopefully that's not what we're about to see on the next page. Continuing. Okay, an exclusive car. Okay. That like not. It looks cool. Looks like the car from Wolf of Wall Street when he takes all the pills. That's cool. I like that. Like a 90s Lambo. I like that. That's cool. Exclusive revolver. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. Whatever. Oh, exclusive palm stuff. I don't really get why you'd pay extra for that because their hands will literally cover it. But whatever. Personalized decals. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I see. This is the type of thing I don't really care. I'm not also the type. I don't think I'm the target audience. Like I'm not one that orders or pays for cosmetics on stuff like this, but maybe there are some people that really love that and think that looks awesome. Okay. Vice City style, whether poolside or side by side, Jason and Lucia can look the part with exclusive outfits, tattoos, and more. Okay. Like again, exclusive shirts and tattoos. I personally just don't care. Vice City style. Oh, it's a Ferrari. Tells you how much I know about cars. Oh, baby. They show some more. Okay. Honestly, they just... This is going to get me in trouble. They just look like TikTokers, dude. I know a lot of TikTokers. I like TikTokers. They're great people. They all kind of dress like this. You know, they all kind of look like you hopped in a GTA outfit customization thing and then hit shuffle and randomize. I don't get fashion, clearly. So I see this, I'm like, oh, they look like all the TikTokers I know. Coachella influencers. Yeah. I'm sure these are cool. I'm not the fashion guy, okay? This is gonna come as breaking news. Luke doesn't know about fashion? Yeah, I can't unsee it now. I'm sorry. Most TikTokers are much more fashionable than me, certainly. I just am not accustomed to it. I do like the Daytona. I'll give him that. He's wearing a Daytona. That's a good one, or their version of a Daytona. These are very good watches. They're very hard to get, though. Very, very hard to get. Jason's Safe House vehicles. Okay. So also, this is all, to be clear, this is all, everything we're looking at right now is exclusive to the Ultimate Edition. So Jason's Safe House vehicles. So you get the Enduro motorcycle and the Crest kayak are exclusive. So these two are going to be exclusive as well. Okay. Okay. Again, if they're just cosmetics and then there's other bikes you can find, like, okay, not that worried about it. They show some other pictures of it. Okay. I mean, it's literally called Grand Theft Auto. So if you want a different vehicle, you can just, but you know, that looks cool. Also, the kayaking looks cool. The idea you just go out and kayak and maybe fish at the same time. I don't know. I like that. Sounds fun. Okay. The retro build. Inject some muscle and classic stylings into Jason's well-worn Vapid Ganado. Maybe low riding pickup with exclusive mods. So this is the first one where I was reading through and I was like, exclusive? Luke, spoilers on the kayak. Jesus. Sorry. Oh no, they're gonna cancel me. I don't care. Yeah, so this was the first one where I was like, what? Exclusive mods. First, like, little bitty, hold on. I have the thing. Oh my God, I dropped it. I have the thing. Okay, that's the first one. Because I'm sensitive to these things where it's like, oh, exclusive gameplay modifying stuff. I don't like that. But then seeing that modifications to the car are exclusive, I'm guessing that, this could, to play devil's advocate, this could just mean some of the cosmetic alterations. So maybe like these specific headlights are exclusive to the deluxe edition, or these tires or rims or something are exclusive. You know what? If that's what it is, I can live with it. It's not the end of the world, but because again, that's just cosmetic. It's when stuff starts to affect gameplay that I really don't like that. Ride Out Customs mod shop. Oh. Transform vanilla vehicles into magnificent works of art with detailed interiors, exquisite rims, and donk stylings. Only open for business with the Ultimate Edition. So to be clear, this shop is exclusive to the Ultimate Edition. It's not clear at this point if it's just one location or if it's a chain. Los Santos Customs, there are multiple locations. It's not clear if this has multiple locations or if it's just one shop. Either way, if you do not pay the Ultimate Edition price, you do not get to go inside here. We don't know exactly what it'll look like, if it'll still show you the icon on the map and you'll like drive in. And then it's just Strauss Zelnick just going, Like we don't know exactly what it's going to be when you're playing the standard edition, or what I think most likely will happen is that if you're playing standard edition, you're going to reach this point and it's going to be like, oh, you want to go inside, upgrade to the Ultimate Edition now. And it's going to prompt you. You can go buy the upgrade pack and they'll push you that way. And I think that's going to be true of all the other things we're about to look at too. Wait, there's more, Luke? Spoilers. Yes, there's more. There's more. Okay. We just getting started. What else is there? Okay. So again, the best case scenario, I think, to spin this, get it? Because of rims. The best case to spin this, I think, is probably to be like, it's one location and it just has some gaudy, god-awful customizations that you miss out on if you are not paying extra. Or it doesn't even have like exclusive like rims and stylings, and it's just a different location for you to do it. Maybe that's the difference, but I think most likely it has some exclusive cosmetics and stuff tied to it. That'll be my guess. But I do think it's very, very likely that this is going to be one of those things where you can drive up to it and then it prompts you to upgrade from there if you haven't already. So I think that that's probably what it is. What else do we have? Hair salon, Sarah's Unisex Salon. Get signature salon styles for both Jason and Lucia, including facial hair for Jason and makeup and nails for Lucia. Only open for business with the Ultimate Edition. So again, not clear if this is just one or if this is a chain, because the way it's phrased, it could be seen as a chain of hair salon locations or just Sarah's one specific. And it's not clear if this is true of all of them, if Ride Out Customs is a chain or if it's just one. But let's assume for now, because we don't have any indication either which way, let's assume it is just one location for each. It is one mod shop that's exclusive somewhere on the map. It is one salon exclusive somewhere on the map. I still don't like that because this starts to add up. As we look through this, you'll see that there's actually a good number of these locations. And again, the whole idea, just like Ubisoft putting XP boosters in the game, that's to try and the only way they can get you to buy those XP boosts is if you feel like you need to use them. So they are incentivized to build the game in a way where it starts to bloat and where it starts to push you to be like, I really could use that XP boost right about now. And then you go and spend the $5 for it. Similarly with this, I'm sure that the locations are going to be very conveniently placed, very close to where missions start or end. It's going to be in your face to try and encourage you to upgrade because of course that's what they want you to do. That's the whole reason it's here. Again, I just don't like this. I get why they're doing it for all of the GTA like fanboys. I get why they're doing this. This is the most expensive video game, or probably honestly media product ever. So they got to make the money back somehow. I understand that. But I don't have to like it, you know? Like I don't have to like it at the same time. Continuing on, as you can see. Oh, Shih Tzu Squalo. It's a Watercraft exclusive. Okay, it's like a unique boat. That's cool. Whatever. Again, like I'm not too worried about exclusive skins or wraps or variants, especially in a game like GTA where you can just go steal your own. You know, I do think this picture was particularly interesting because it's like, okay, what is this a picture of? Is this a quest line? Is this an open world activity where you can hop on your boat and then take Lucia and there's like a button to have both protagonists come and go on the boat at the same time? And then you go and you like scuba dive off the boat anywhere in the water that you want to go. There's obviously dolphins that come and visit you. Like there's a lot of questions with it, but it's very interesting. I'm like, I like the idea of being able to just go and explore. They of course show some shootouts here, the helicopters chasing you and then the police coming to, but all of that looks very, very interesting. Then we move forward. Clothing store, another exclusive clothing store. This one is going to also be locked behind the Ultimate Edition. And it's going to offer some more TikTok clothes. Sorry, now that I've said it out loud, I can't unsee it. It's just, hey guys, welcome to the latest update of GTA 6. I can't unsee it now. I can't unsee it. I will say that fur looks great. The fur coat looks really, really good. Really, really, really good. That's just streetwear. You can't say that's just streetwear. I wear basic t-shirts and then shorts and jeans. Like I see streetwear and I see people that take pictures of everything they eat and post it on Instagram as if people care. That's what I see. I see this guy and that coat and I go, that's someone who vlogs their breakfast. That's what I see. That's quite literally just streetwear, though. We are from two different worlds, you and I. I admire people that are able to put this much this much effort into dressing up. I mean, I'm very, very straightforward. I have my clothes that I wear. I cycle through them, wash them, and that's it. Go outside, Luke. How dare you? How dare you? So this is another one, stock 305, also exclusive to the Ultimate Edition. 67 Avid Dominator Buggy. Mud Club monster offering impressive off-road handling and backwoods of Mount Calaga and beyond. Conveniently stored with or at the Paradise Garage in Watson Bay. which features a weapon locker plus secure place to deposit stolen goods to be fenced. This was something that was found in some of the leaks that we're totally not allowed to talk about. But the idea of fencing things, so like you steal certain vehicles or like crates of stuff during missions and open world activities, you bring them to a fencer, they're able to sell it. Similar to how things worked in like Red Dead Redemption 2. They're doing stuff like that again. This is cool. And they also, you'll notice, show some pictures of it. Looks very, very awesome and very cool. Okay, that's awesome. They also, well, more on that in a second. There's going to be specific shops and different vehicle customization and stuff for off-roading specifically. So it seems like they are building out two totally different systems for like driving within the cities and then driving outside in the wilds. They also will have an exclusive tattoo shop with exclusive tattoos as well. These are only going to be available to people with the Ultimate Edition. If you want to get tatted up, get that sweet, sweet ink. Get that sweet, sweet ink. Oh, baby. It would be funny if they had it like actually hardcore, and once you get a tattoo, you can't undo it for the whole playthrough. It's like, you can't swap it off. I doubt they do that, but that would be funny. They're like, no, you got a back piece. You're stuck with it, dude. Deal with it. Beyond that, One-Eyed Willies. That's, I love it. I love it. This whole thing, the whole vibe. I like it. Mod Shop in Lake Leonida specializes in off-road modifications and hand-painted automotive artistry. Only open for business with the Ultimate Edition. Again, off-road shop exclusive to the Ultimate Edition with its own customizations, own tweaks, own stuff. Okay. So once more, another exclusive thing. Exclusive looks and cosmetics. I would guess they're probably going to release this as actual merch, but it is exclusive cosmetics there. And then PTT Youngins Illegal Goods Store. So another gang compound that is exclusive to the collector's edition as well. And then there's more. Buckle up. Special Commission. This is basically special mission or a series of missions, but track down a variety of abandoned classic and work in progress project cars, revitalize them to their former glory in this special commission from eccentric collector and local fixer, Wyman. And as you can see, this is like a little look at probably what one of the vehicles looks like. You can see some other pictures of some of these that are demonstrated, and these are going to be like older muscle cars and stuff like that that are exclusive to these missions that you do with him. And you will only get access to them if you have the collector's edition, to be perfectly clear. So that's it. After that, you get one last little sizzle picture, and that's it. So where does this leave us at the end of this? Okay, I'm gonna be real. I don't like the way they're doing it. Just like I didn't like it with Hogwarts Legacy when they famously, or not so famously because a lot of people have forgotten, locked behind paywalls exclusive gameplay content. The Dark Arts Battle Arena, this was exclusive to the premium edition. If you didn't pay more, you didn't get access to this battle arena, full stop. And was it that massive of a gameplay like affecting thing? No. Like I think it offered maybe like half an hour of gameplay. It basically was an arena where you could go and do like the dark arts. You could use any of the forbidden curses and stuff freely. You know, it was like, I mean, it was a cool idea that would have been nice to have in every edition of the game, but they cut it out. It was exclusive to the Ultimate Edition, and that just was lame, but obviously it didn't affect the game's performance. Just like I personally don't expect that any of this exclusive stuff is going to change anybody's buying behavior. I think everybody who is going to buy it is still going to buy it. Let's be totally real. That doesn't mean we have to like it though. Beyond that, I think there's also something that just needs to be said. I love that video games are often and can be the great equalizer. Like it doesn't matter whether you're a multimillionaire or billionaire, or if you're a broke college student. If we're playing the same game, we're all playing the same game. You know, we're all on the same page. We're all experiencing the same piece of media, piece of art and content together. And I think that's beautiful. There's been times in my life where I've been crazy broke with like 32 cents in my checking account, and I can't afford a pack of ramen noodles for dinner. It's like bad. When I was working as a janitor or in retail, there were times where like it was bad. However, like video games for me were the escape. And certainly at that time, I wouldn't have been buying an $80 copy of a game But the idea that there's going to be this disparity between the haves and the have-nots, and so it's like those with thicker wallets will get more enjoyment and more content out of the game. I don't personally like that. I think video games are amazing in that they can bring everybody to the same table. And it just sucks to separate it out and to be like, no, you don't have enough. Okay, sucks to suck. You don't get any of this. You know, it's lame. I get that it's a product. I understand that. There's going to be people who go like, it's $20. Who cares? There are many people out there for whom $20 is a big deal. Maybe not for you. That's great. Okay. And you should be very, very thankful that you're in a financially stable position where that isn't that big of a deal to you. But there are a lot of people for whom, like, they've been waiting for this game for a long, long time. It's a great escape from reality for them. They're really excited for it. And now they just announced that you need another 25% to get the full game, you know, which is just lame. It's just lame. So overall, it's not, these are the types of things that when you see it, it's like, you can just be like, yeah, well, whatever. But I think it's important to at least state and mention that it's frustrating, and I wish they didn't do it, but they're doing it precisely the same reason why Hogwarts did, which is because they know that people will still do it. And it's true. I see one person says, why not just get it later? And I think that's what a lot of people will do. A lot of people will buy the base version, and then they'll come across one of these locations, or they'll come across a couple of them throughout the game and finally be like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to upgrade for $20. And maybe that's a week or two after launch, but I think eventually they will consider upgrading to the Ultimate Edition. And this assumes that there's not also going to be benefits and perks for the online mode. I mean, it's possible that they will have different modes and editions for the online, where there's like an Deluxe Ultimate Edition Plus pack, which is $120 or $130, and that comes with online in-game currency and stuff like that, and they'll do all sorts of stuff like that. But as of right now, it's just the single player stuff, and it is what it is. To be clear, like this is Luke takes super chats. Why is he complaining? I'm telling you right now, I am a YouTuber. I do this for a living. I can afford the extra $20 thanks to you guys watching and doing all of this. This is not about me, literally. Okay. If they were just trying to appeal to YouTubers and streamers and TikTokers and stuff, they've done that. They did what they needed to do. The people for whom this sucks and these people are in trouble are the people that are not sitting in their basement talking about video games all day. The people for whom are working much harder jobs and are grinding it out, trying to pay the bills, and now it's like you got to come up with extra cash, otherwise you don't get the full experience, and that type of thing is just kind of lame. Beyond this, there is also some other stuff. For example, let me show you the PlayStation blog, because the PlayStation blog dropped some information on what they are aiming to do. Now, this is where there's a lot of people running with what is not said, okay? And there's some misinformation already starting to spread around. So Rockstar didn't say a whole lot about performance modes, about anything like that in their official statements. Sony, however, came out with this article posted this morning at the same time, where they outline how, quote, Grand Theft Auto 6 plays best on PS5. To be clear, they have an incentive to do that. If anybody's going to say that, it's probably PlayStation. But what do they say specifically? Do they mention anything specific? I don't know. Dude, did this get... Their own cover art reveal video got taken down by Rockstar. That's freaking hilarious. Anyway. So what do they say? Well, they outline a couple of things. So they say it's going to take advantage of PS5's immersive features to deliver deeply engaging single player experience when it launches on November 19th. They talk about DualSense and haptic feedback. So that's cool. It'll have haptic feedback. They talk about Tempest 3D audio. So 3D audio is going to be used. Grand Theft Auto also leverages the PS5's ultra high-speed SSD, enabling you to experience the expansive world of Leonida with near instant load times, which is great. If you guys have not played Red Dead 2 recently, you may forget, bro, Load times were long and girthy on that one. But once you were in, it was pretty much seamless throughout the entire game. But load times were certainly slow. And that, I mean, it makes sense for GTA 5. They were slow because that was a 360 game originally. And with Red Dead 2, that's a PS4 game. They were both built for use on hard drives. But now this will be the first game built from the ground up for SSDs. And that is seemingly going to be a real benefit here, which is awesome. I mean, the idea that you can just boot up and you're right in it, that's great. Beyond that, they outline a couple of other things, such as timelines, exclusive collection of premium vehicles, weapon and apparel, action threaded across Jason and Lucia's story, which we already went through. They described new players looking to jump in. It's a great chance to see why PS5 is the best place to play. They can pick up a PS5 or PS5 Pro at direct.playstation.com and at local retailers. And they kind of give you the broad pitch. Now, what they do not mention are performance modes, or certainly 60 FPS. They do clarify that it will be PS5 Pro enhanced. So, what does that mean? We don't know. It basically just says it will be enhanced for PS5 Pro, and that's it. We don't know to what degree or to what level it will be optimized for that. However, people are running with it and are saying, therefore, that the game is actually PS5 Pro enhanced, so therefore it's going to run at 60. They did not say that. They just say it's going to be enhanced. My personal expectation, is that they are going to have like the standard mode on the base console, but then on the Pro, they're probably going to have performance quality modes. There's some online retailers and third-party retailers that are listing that in the description of the game, but they just say that there's going to be an option between quality and performance mode. My guess would be there's probably quality, which just prioritizes 30 FPS locked and then higher resolution targets and stuff like that. And then the performance mode probably just targets a lower resolution using pisser upscaling, and then it's like they unlock the frame rate. And so maybe sometimes it's in the 40s, sometimes it's in the 50s, other times it's in the 30s, and it just depends on the sequence. But I would not go into this expecting that it's going to run locked 60 no matter what. I do not think that that's going to happen. There's other tidbits and other things going around as well. For example, there are people that are faking screenshots and faking some articles and postings claiming that Rockstar is disclosing things that they're not. So for example, there's people that are saying that the online mode is going to be a totally separate SKU, which has been speculated about whether or not they're going to do that. But the point is there is no evidence they're going to do that. There's no evidence that they are going to be charging a separate $80 for the online mode. Is it possible they do that? I guess, sure. But there's no reason to think that they're doing that. They've not said anything like that in earnings calls. They have not communicated anything like that. It's not impossible, but I think it would be shocking if they did. So I would not run with that. It's just people saying stuff. What else is there? Beyond this, there is a broad, I guess we can mention this. I don't know if it moves the needle for anybody, but there is also a pre-order bonus, which is just like a couple of, again, specific car and then some cosmetics and stuff that are going to be exclusive to those who pre-order the game from there. Okay. You get the classic looks, just like that. As old Luke always said, hype makes you stupid. Hype makes you stupid. Hype definitely puts blinders on and makes you lose sight of the bigger picture. And also for some people, it leads to them just making things up, as we've seen with like GTA 6 is going to have dude, one of the articles I saw yesterday when we were filming that video that we had to scrap was that people were saying, apparently this was like an actual thing people thought for a very long time. And some people still do. They thought that, basically, there was an article or a tweet written by Tom Henderson in 2021 where he said that he had sources telling him that GTA 6 was going to have missions that pay out Bitcoin to the player character by certain like vendors and drug dealers because they want to just quickly give you money for doing whatever. But he clarified that is just in the game. It is like the in-game version of Bitcoin is being paid to you for committing a crime or for whatever. People took that And there are people that still to this day think that you'll be able to do a heist in GTA 6 and get paid out real world Bitcoin. And there was a clip of FaZe Banks saying how he thinks there's going to be real estate in the game where you can like buy an apartment and then sell it for actual real world millions of dollars. Aiden Ross was saying the same thing. He wants to make his own servers where that's doable. It's just like, I know for 12-year-olds that sounds like, yeah, that makes sense. But that's not how any of this works. And what's funny is that almost all of those, you can trace back the original statements, and they almost always go back to 2021 and NFT bros just making stuff up. Okay, like almost always it goes back to the NFT bros, and it's freaking hilarious because like we all kind of forgot about NFTs because NFTs are stupid, and there's a reason why we like all kind of collectively were like, no. Just like hand wave them away. But dude, there's a lot of people out there that still think that that's going to be a thing. It's insane to say, but there are people that think that. So that's why when we say like GTA 6 is massive and huge, like it's important to remember it's not just the people that are coming from like Red Dead 2 to GTA 6. There's a lot of people who are coming from like GTA RP and those guys saying that you can make millions in GTA 6. Like there's a lot of people coming from that world who are expecting that level of crap in GTA 6, even at launch, which is just insanity. The glory of NFTs, you will get to make up the product and everything in life too. Yeah, well, I remember, I think it was, let me see if I can find it. GTA 6. Maybe if I just search that, I can find it. Maybe I can find it that way. Yeah, like this. I think this is the clip. Yeah, with the release of GTA 6, he plans on creating a server that will allow people to quit their IRL 9-to-5s and earn full-time salaries from working within the game.
Guys, listen. My GTA server, you guys can quit your jobs in real life and work in my server. You could be a janitor. You could be a babysitter. You could be a Bitcoin, you know, you guys are going to really make money in my world.
Scam. I mean, it feels like one. I mean, like what else are you supposed to conclude? With all of these things, it always just makes me want to ask like one question. Where is the money coming from? Like, where is the money coming from? The money has to come from somewhere, okay? It's not magic. It has to come from somewhere. So where does the money come from? Who is paying the in-game janitor? Like, who's paying in for that? You know, are you going to have $10,000 a month server membership dues? Then maybe you could find a way to do it. Sure, you could build out some economy like that. But the money has to come from somewhere. You know, it's always amazed me that like, especially the NFT bros just assume that you can just create money out of nowhere. And I think it reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of how like crypto and everything works. The only way that happens, whether it's like Counter-Strike skins or if it's NFTs for that like 3-week period when they had value, the only way that works is if people are willing to come in with outside money and subsidize it and buy in to create it, and they agree that this is worth X amount of money. Being a janitor, pressing the square button to sweep floors in GTA, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But there's people that see this and are actually like, can't wait for November. I can finally quit the job. Like, I know it's crazy to think, but there are people that like suffer at the hands of delusional promises. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, which is why it's also really funny that and this is what's really funny. The AI community note comes in clutch. No, you should not quit your job to play GTA 6 RP for Aiden Ross. What a title. So if you didn't know, for one, like obviously the online mode launches separately, but Rockstar already has like banned using cryptocurrencies within their RP servers. Because shocker, if you start to try to do this type of thing, you have to deal with all sorts of regulations and stuff. Like you don't mess with it. You just don't mess with it. You like the other stuff like Premier Access tiers, the marketplaces, you can get donations and stuff. But again, the idea that you can just like hop in and be a janitor and quit your real life job, it's just so insane. It's outrageous. While they've also gone and like had to already take steps to ban this type of thing. It's just crazy. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, is going to have to continue to be debunked and tackled with GTA 6 piece by piece as we go through this. But overall, it's actually coming in November. It is coming story mode first. It is launching for $80, but the full experience is going to be $100. It's also perhaps to be fair, it's important to mention, we don't know a lot about the base game. So it's possible, as one of you guys mentioned in chat, it's possible that these exclusive items in the Ultimate Edition are like a little drop in the bucket. They could be like, oh no, there's 70 different shops for altering your car. Like 2 of them are exclusive to the Ultimate Edition. In which case, okay, I'm less worried about it. Where I'm more worried about it is if there's like 4 or 5 and 2 of them are exclusive to the Ultimate. You know, that's when it really sucks. But we just don't know what we don't know. Overall, though, I don't like how much stuff is locked behind the Ultimate. I think it's pretty clearly done to try and push everybody into the Ultimate to, again, get the average unit sold price to be much higher. I also think that the physical edition just being a download code sucks because, again, it pretty much immediately wipes out the secondhand market for the game. Not pretty much, it does. There is going to be no way to sell your copy of GTA 6 to somebody else or give it to a buddy. There is none of that. Everybody has to buy their own copy because it's automatically linked and tied to your console account. That's it. So I'm not surprised. I'm still disappointed with some of it. I think, you know, if Hogwarts Legacy got away with these types of things, you better believe that Rockstar is going to get away with it with GTA 6. It still sucks. We can vocalize that, but I don't think it's going to really fundamentally change anybody's behaviors at the end of the day. I think everybody's going to still do it. eBaying a cardboard cutout as the physical edition. Why not? Why are they so greedy? As with many instances of corporate greed, because they can be. Why is Apple so greedy? Why do they take 30% of everything that goes to the App Store? Why do they have 40% margins on iPhones? Because they can, and people will still buy it. Like, if people didn't buy it, they wouldn't do it. Like, they're gonna do it because people will still buy it. You know? Like, that's just how it is. Like, that's just how it is. What did Hogwarts do? We mentioned earlier, they locked like the Dark Arts Arena and Dark Arts Pack and all these cosmetics and stuff behind the Ultimate Edition as well. So if you didn't buy the Ultimate Edition, you just didn't get access to this like quest line and to this content at all. You had to pay extra for it. And it wasn't a DLC separate, it was at launch. So just to be clear. Is there anything else to mention? I think we went through pretty much everything I wanted to get to. I guess maybe the only other piece of this is trailer 3, kind of like the elephant in the room. A lot of us thought trailer 3 was going to drop with the pre-orders. It still could drop tomorrow because, again, the official trailers or the official launch time for everybody is mainly going to happen in the next like 12 to 15 hours because it unlocks at midnight for pre-orders. So it's possible that the trailer still goes up maybe tomorrow morning. It's possible. Or maybe tonight it drops. I think it makes sense to drop a trailer that's going to do 250 million views in a day. Drop that like right as you're going to start asking people for money. That makes sense to me, but I guess time will tell. They're going to do whatever they want to do. I mean, who knows? But I think it drops when everyone can pre-order. That's the thing. It unlocks at midnight per time zone. So right now in New Zealand, you can pre-order. But obviously here where I live, you can't. I mean, we still have like 13 hours until it unlocks. So there you go. There you go. But yeah, it's happening. It's coming. And it's wild. It's wild after all this time to actually like have information dropping and stuff. But there you go. I guess the only other thing to mention before we wrap all of it up, the only other thing to mention is the claims of some graphical downgrades. I think like it's really hard to gauge because some people are trying to pull up comparison pictures across different characters and be like, oh, look, this has changed from this trailer, or the lighting seems better or worse in this picture. And honestly, I think it's just hard to tell from one screenshot whether things have been downgraded or altered. I mean, I'm sure stuff has changed from the original trailer 2 years ago. I'm sure it doesn't run or look exactly the same. But I mean, based on the screenshots we've got, it looks pretty damn good. Like, it looks pretty good. This is the main one people have done side-by-sides with. Oh my God. They just casually post this picture in the comments. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do? I'm trying to talk. How am I supposed to focus with that? Anyway, they pull up this and then they look at like the foliage and they're like, oh, the shading is different in the foliage compared to the initial trailer we saw with Jason going up the stairs and everything. It might just be time of day. I'm gonna be real. It's really hard to tell. I think it's, with open world games with dynamic day-night cycles, it's really hard to look at a screenshot from one time of day and compare it to a screenshot from another time of day and conclude anything, because it could really just be lighting and environmental differences like cloud cover and stuff like that. But time will tell. Overall, I know I keep saying overall. I'm trying to make sure. just got my copy of GTA 6. Dude, what's crazy? This is what we'll finish on. What's crazy? You remember those videos from like 2014? Maybe 2015. Guy has GTA 6 early. You remember those guys that were constantly saying that they had GTA 6 early, and it was like 2015, completely made up. Yeah, this guy. 2018, I got GTA 6 early. No, you didn't, reacting to little kids. Or this guy faked it all the time. 2017, dude, he got 3 million subscribers from this.
From Rockstar Games themselves. Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Fernando and welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you people are having a wonderful day. So oh my god, Grand Theft Auto 6 PS4. I thought he was gonna send me an Xbox One version, but holy crap, man, look at this, guys, look at this.
Like, he racked up 6 million subs. I'm doing this YouTube thing wrong, man. That's crazy. Just like actually making up nonsense. Oh my God. Look at this, dude. Like, actual predatory content. That's insane. Anyway, he did this stuff. What's crazy though is that he had just as much of GTA 6 in this box as we will when it launches. He had exactly the same amount of the game in that box as we will when it launches. He was ahead of his time. He was ahead of its time. Really, truly. A visionary of his time. Anyway, I remember this guy. Dude, these guys used to be all over the place. Now they're less common. At least I don't see them. Honestly, I think a lot of them moved to TikTok. Don't cancel me. I'm just saying. A lot of them. Because they benefit off of the quick, you scroll, you see the video, this is BS, and you scroll past, but they got your view and maybe your follow or something. And, they get a 12-year-old to hit follow. I'm going to give away a copy of GTA 6 to whoever follows me right now. And then they get the follow. The kid swipes, but boom, he's at 3 million followers out of nowhere. Like, these types of guys really, really thrive on that type of like quick get in, you forget about them content. As you can see, 9 million views 9 years ago, 6 million sub channel for like actual nonsense and lies. Like, it's actually insane. But anyway, there you go. Maybe I'm doing the YouTube thing wrong. Maybe I need to start saying I have GTA 6 early. Check it out. Anyway, there you go. It is happening, my friends. We'll continue talking about it because I'm sure there's going to continue to be more info drops as time goes on. Strauss Zelnick has already said that they are doing a lot of surprising marketing for GTA 6 over the course of this year, and we are going to see a lot of that, and it's going to really impress people. He's been very coy about what exactly they're doing for marketing, but what he has stressed multiple times is that it's going to be different than anybody expects. So we'll see. Unboxing my prize from Rockstar in the description. Yeah, that's brilliant, stunning, brave, and beautiful. Oh my god. Anyway, there you go. Clickbait for viewers. Yeah, dude, the clickbait, people talk about clickbait today. It is nowhere near as bad as it was back then. Like, honestly, I'm trying to think of the last time I got clickbaited. I don't think it happens hardly ever. Like, YouTube really, as a YouTuber myself, they really punish videos where somebody clicks on it and then feels lied to and clicks off very quickly. Like, they do not reward that the way they used to. It used to be much easier for those types of guys to thrive, and nowadays it just doesn't work. It just doesn't. But it's like, I remember back in the early days, it was very common where you click on it and the video was just literally nothing to do with anything, and you're just like, what? That's why my channel's doing so bad, sister. No, I think the way Casey Neistat actually said it well in a video once. I don't remember what the video even was, but he said it well one time where he was like, the key to clickbait is to intrigue, don't deceive. So he's like, clickbaiting is literally your job as a content creator. You are trying to find ways to intrigue people. Yeah, of course, you don't want to lie to them. If you just say, I have GTA 6 back in 2017, that's a lie. That's not true. But if you're like, you find some way to coyly phrase something and intrigue people, I guess that is clickbait, but it's definitely not the type of deceptive predatory clickbait like we saw there, you know, like that's another level. I mean, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. Let's see. Yes, Ria, you're right. I do, or Rolo McLeod, I do clickbait with different shirts all the time. Often the thumbnail does not match my actual shirt. You're right. It's all part of it. All part of the scheme. You caught me. Let's see. Luke can do the Elder Scrolls 6 video for millions of subs. Guys, I got my reward from Todd Howard. Wow, it's an actual copy. I can't show you anything about it, but wow. Thanks, Todd. You know what? That would actually be pretty great. What is this picture? Honestly, he looks pained. It's a fun idea for a video. Like, you have to stay in your car until you finish the original GTA. And it's a fun video. I like that idea. That's a good video. It's just the thumbnail. I see it kind of looks like he's in labor. I've seen that look before. But honestly, good idea for a video. I like that. It's fun. Little challenge mode. Challenge mode action. I can mess with it. I can dig it. Sure can. Okay, let me catch up real quick. I don't actually know how long is the original. How long to beat the original GTA? I don't know how long it is. The original is about 13 and a half hours long. Okay. I mean, that's a good long. I mean, that's a long time to be in the back of a car, but I respect it. Okay, let me read these real quick, catch up, and then we will move forward. Okay, read that one. Let's see, where did I leave off? RPG Veteran says, I will get the Ultimate Edition for both Pro and Xbox. We got a whale, fam. We got a whale. RPG Veteran's a whale. City's buying both Ultimate Editions. Big money spender. We found you. Ismail, good to see you. Never seen a win this big for the PS5 after the Steam Machine launch. Spider-Man, Santa Monica is only competing against Steam Machine. There's too many SM abbreviations. SM is only competing against small form factor PCs. Well, the fact that even Digital Foundry couldn't get it performing consistently on the level of the PS5, base PS5, it's just, I frankly don't know who it's for, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that will buy it for the sake of having it. Let's see. Malcolm gave 5 and said, keep it up. Thank you, my friend. Much love. Much love. Shife, thank you for the 2. GTA giving less than a game key card. Yeah, you get a piece of paper and you're going to like it. Mr. Chubber, thank you for the 5. Thoughts and prayers for us in the UK. It's that week of the year where the temp is 95 freedom units with no AC. Also, no sign of GTA's collector's edition. Yeah, they might announce it separately, or maybe they're not doing it. I don't know why they wouldn't do it. It seems like it would print money. But I think they should do it. I mean, why not? Just, again, free money as far as I can tell. As for you Brits without AC, I feel for you. I couldn't live without my delicious AC. I love it desperately, and I don't know if I'd be able to function without it either. So totally understand. Totally understand. I think what was funny is watching all those World Cup reactions to Europeans coming to the US and experiencing like Texas AC. People forget I say this with peace and love. The fattest city in America is Houston. At least it was a year ago. And Houston, Texas is apparently the fattest city in the country because people tend to spend so much time indoors. And you might be wondering, like, why would that be? It's really hot outside. But that's exactly why. People spend more time inside. And Texas AC is so delightful. You never want to go outside. You never want to go outside. So you just stay inside all day long. And if you also have access to Texas Barbecue Unlimited, dude, I would balloon up real quick. Tell you what. If I had unlimited access to Texas Barbecue and I was inside all day, I'd get nothing done. I'd roll in here, stream, and then I'd roll back out. It would be awesome. I'd be fat and sassy, but I'd be living my dream. Shout out Houston. Yeah, big ups Houston. I lived in Houston when I was very little. I don't really remember it because I think I was like 2 or 3 at the time, but I did live in Houston for a little bit. Sure did. But yeah, when Europeans experienced Texas AC, they were like, oh my God. This is what it is. I remember seeing a video of a German guy, and the German, he was like so jubilant. He's like, we just got to Buc-ee's and we went into Buc-ee's, and Buc-ee's, it is like hot as hell outside, but inside it is winter. It's like, welcome to America, my friend. That's how we do it. Yeah, welcome to America. It was awesome. The joy on his face realizing that you can have both. It was wonderful. Inside it is winter. Yeah. See, there are options. I did ask one of you guys, like who lived in England. I was like, why isn't AC that common? And you guys at least were telling me that it was, there's a lot of like political restrictions and like sort of hot button political points where it's like seen as really bad for the environment. So you're seen as like, you're not an ally to the earth if you use AC. And they've kind of painted it as like America don't care none about the environment. So AC is of course common over there. But like what's insane is I think the stat was in Europe, more people die due to heat related, injuries or incidents like heat stroke or other things that come with being in extreme heat without proper like conditioning of the air. More people in Europe die of that than like die of different types of criminal violence, like gun violence in the US, which is insane. And I looked it up and I was like, yeah, across all of Europe, more people die from like heat stroke and heat related, like air conditioning related, or things that air conditioning would help with. Which is insane. It's like, just install AC. It'll be great. Electricity. I've heard AC, like the electricity is one of the big problems is that you guys don't have the infrastructure to build it out the way, because the AC does take a lot of power. And that is a tough hurdle to get over. It's a tough hurdle. I saw like just over the weekend, I think it was something like 20 people in France passed away due to heat related things. Different people that were like some kids were left in cars, some elderly people had heat stroke. Like it's crazy, especially because it seems like that should be a priority for dealing with it and fixing it, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Recommend AC. That's what I'm saying. Energy's cheap in America. Oil, baby. Oil and coal. That's the key. We should get back to nuclear energy, honestly. Having played a lot of City Skylines and a lot of games where you build nuclear energy reactors, I understand people are scared of nuclear energy, but bro, it is like cleaner than coal. It is cleaner than gas. It is, I don't know if it's cleaner than natural gas, but we should be doing more of that, honestly. Nuclear energy is goated. It's fantastic and amazing and a marvel of engineering, but it scares people because it sounds scary, you know. But compared to like the side effects of like coal and side effects of oil and stuff, it's actually way safer. It's just when it goes bad, it goes really bad. but when it very rarely goes bad, you know. That's the key. That's the difference. Funnily enough, you know what's probably going to change a lot of that energy stuff? Probably not for the UK because it doesn't seem like they're putting much effort into it, but like all the data centers, because they literally are running out of energy. So like Meta is buying up like actual nuclear reactor companies and building their own nuclear reactors because they don't have enough energy to run the data centers, which is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, the data centers may actually like cause the US at least to like overhaul their energy grid finally, but we'll see. AI, baby. Yeah, that's the key. You got to get Meta, you got to get Facebook, you got to get Google. You have to make them pay for all the build out. That's the key. Get them to pay for it, and then everybody else benefits. Why not? But you got to get them to pay for it. The countries and the states and cities who are like, no, we'll subsidize. Don't do that. Make Meta pay for it. They have the money. If they're going to come in and destroy your drinking water, at least make them get your energy bill lower, you know? Just get a little lower energy bill. Yes, you're drinking battery acid, but you know, maybe it evens out. Guitar Guy, thank you for that. Let's see, for GTA 6, my prediction was off. I thought they would do 70 base game, 100 for early access, and goodies and collector's edition 150. Yeah, I will say I was wrong. I thought that they were going to do early access, like 5-day early access, and that was how they were going to push people to do the like $100, $120 version of the game, but they're not. They're not doing early access at all. It will unlock for everybody at the same time, which I guess is another way of just saying they don't want to do spoilers or leaks and stuff. Maybe that's the reason, but it is interesting how they're just not touching early access at all. They just don't want to risk it at all and mess with it, which I thought that was going to be a slam dunk, but they decided to do that instead of, or they decided to do exclusive like shops and stores and stuff instead of everything else, like early access, which it is what it is. I'm not sure which would have been better in the long run, but yeah, either way, I think, early access sucks anyways. Yeah, it was going to be like, pick your poison. It was, do you want to give some people early access if they have money, or do you want to lock content away unless you have more money? And they picked to lock content away. But anyway, will they allow content creators to play early parts of the game or wait for anybody? I personally don't think they should. And I'm saying that as a content creator. I don't think they should give us early access. I don't think they should do preview events. I don't think they should do any sort of press events. I think they should, of course, I think every game should open up for reviews, but I think reviews will be extremely limited. Like, I think they will give out maybe 50 review codes globally, and it's going to be freaking insane. I know there was one story months ago we talked about where a journalist from, I believe, Brazil or Portugal, I don't remember where he was from, but he just off the cuff said that he thought that they were going to do literally like, they fly select reviewers out. You stay in a hotel. You play the game in the conference center with them watching you to avoid leaks. And then you get your footage, and then you have to edit the review in the hotel. Like he was describing basically like NSA level security for the review of the game. I don't know if they would do that, but I do think they definitely don't want to risk leaks. And let's be real. Leaks happen more with YouTubers and streamers and TikTokers than they do with like traditional media. At least it seems that way. There are some traditional media outlets that are certainly less trustworthy than others, but I think that they're going to be super selective at the end of the day. So I am guessing I think I and everybody else in my cohort, I think we all should play it at the same time as everybody else. I just hope that they they're able to keep it locked down. Because if it starts to leak, man, it's going to be crazy. Luke's a leaker. Not in that way. I eat a lot of Taco Bell. What can I say? Destin. When I did the Destiny 1 reveal, Bungie watermarked all my footage and wouldn't let me leave with it. Really? Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. I think there's going to be something like that where it's going to be, maybe it's all watermarked and they just are like, yeah, there's going to be watermarks on your reveal or on your trailer footage. Maybe that's what they do. I wouldn't blame them, honestly. And I would be okay with that. I think if they were like, okay, we'll give, like, Luke, do you want to review the game? I'm like, yes. And they're like, okay, you can review the game, but we're going to have the moving user ID number on the screen the whole time you play it in all of your footage. Do you still want to do it? Like, honestly, at that point, I think so. Like, and I think viewers would understand why that is the case, because if any gameplay leaks, you'd know who did it. Like, I told you guys this before, so I'm not breaking news here, but you remember a little game called Starfield? I keep all of our recorded footage for reviews and stuff on our server. It's just down here. That's why I'm pointing randomly over there. I keep it on a server. At one point around Starfield, I had mentioned that we keep all the footage there and I record every second of what I'm playing. And somebody saw, like, on my browser, there was like a URL or a bookmark for that server access with like the server ID or whatever. I honestly don't know how they did it, but they got the number and the data somehow, and they tried to hack into our server to get access to the Starfield footage. Like, all the security alerts started flying up. My inbox starts filling up with like login attempted, security breach detected. Like, the server's going crazy. And that was for Starfield. Can you imagine the level of like craziness that would happen here? Like, I can't even imagine. Okay. If only they knew. Maybe they did. That's why. So I would guess that, it might be a blessing to not have to deal with it. It might be a blessing not to have to deal with it. Rockstrike should give me the exclusive. No one else. Yeah, Destin. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'll call them up. We'll try to make it happen. Dude, I don't think they're talking to nobody. I think they, just like when the Pope selects somebody for sainthood, it's just going to happen. It's just going to be like, come with me, my child. And it's just going to be Strauss on a bicycle outside your house, offering you a hand. You hop on the tandem bicycle with him and you ride over to the offices and you get to play it. I think it's going to be like, there's no asking for access. They are going to carefully select exactly who they think should and who they think they can, like, quote unquote, trust to not leak stuff. And that's going to be it. But I expect it's going to be way fewer people than you would expect. The alternative is they just don't do reviews. I don't think they'll do that because they've always done reviews and they did it with Red Dead 2. They just were really selective. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. What drives are on your capture server and how much space? It has 4 16 terabyte Barracuda drives. So it has a grand capacity of 48 terabytes and I can lose one drive without losing any data. So plenty. Mechanical A. Yeah, once you put them in RAID, the speed difference is not that crazy. I will still record to an NVMe SSD on the streaming PC that records and captures, and then I move the footage over to the server. So I'm not recording onto the server natively. I'll move it over. But yeah, that's how we do it. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a bit of overkill, but there's been some reviews where we've approached it where it's like, oh, gotta clean up after this one. Especially as we moved over to 4K recording. Oh, baby. Crimson Desert nearly killed it. Tell you what. Nearly killed it. Real quick. New mini segment clip of a thing that was said by a Jason Schreier. Jason Schreier.
Hello.
I'm trying to find the clip. Here we go. I found it. Okay, I found it. So Jason Schreier, little tidbit that is going around that I figured we would just quickly look at. This is getting clipped. So I wanted to show it. It's mentioned 707. Here we go. Okay, so a clip has started going around from one of Jason Schreier's latest videos mentioning God of War. Now, our expectation has been that God of War, God of War, it's probably coming sooner than anybody thinks, especially because like they have marketed this every day, like since it was revealed, heavily and aggressively. Like they have constant artwork, constant trailers, like it's constant everywhere. And this game doesn't have a launch window even. Like it doesn't even have 2027, doesn't even have 2026, it doesn't have anything, 2028, we don't know. And then you compare this to like Naughty Dog, okay? Owned by the same organization. They revealed their game first, and their pinned tweet is from 2024. The last one was a retweet yesterday, hiring a technical gameplay animator. Then they had Last of Us. Okay, Last of Us. Uncharted, Last of Us. Okay, well, that's kind of a fun throwback. Okay, a little Jack and Daxter. Last of Us. Like, nothing about Intergalactic. Nothing at all. And you would assume, like, Intergalactic was revealed before. Why are they not advertising Intergalactic at all? But then they are flooding the marketplace with God of War Laufey stuff. Well, it looks like it may be because God of War Laufey is actually coming way, way sooner than anybody is expecting. Like way sooner. Which is going to be very, very interesting. Here's the little snippet from the video where Jason mentions this.
And so some of those games will inevitably slip. And what's going to happen is that February and March will be super crowded. We're going to see a lot of games that, I mean, I mentioned God of War Laufey. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets announced for February or March pretty soon. Final Fantasy VII Revelation has been already announced for spring of next year. I think there are other games, Feb 27 video games. See, I Googled this on the fly because these videos are raw. One take Schreier, they call
Raw.
it. Oh yeah, I forgot. So Fable is ready February. Persona 4 Revival is February. Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis is February. There are going to be some more, I expect, in that window. And the reason for that is because a lot of these companies make their release decisions based on their fiscal years. The fiscal year is very important. You are trying to hit your estimates and expectations as far as the money you are making in the fiscal year.
You gotta love publicly traded companies. Investors really care about like annual projections and everything. And that's why you typically see stuff rushing to get out February, maybe early March, but usually February, because you have enough of a tail. You have a full month of sales before the end of the fiscal year, which is when most of the sales come before they start to tail off. So you'll see a lot of stuff coming in February for sure. For sure.
And a lot of these companies, their fiscal year ends at the end of March. One exception to that is Microsoft. Their fiscal year ends at the end of June, which is why you've seen me report about how Xbox is about to do a massive layoff.
Every year they do layoffs in July because that's at the end of their fiscal year. And then they can do the layoffs first month of their next fiscal year and then just gut it. And then by the time the next year ends, or June comes around the following year, it's not that big of a deal because it's like, oh yeah, that happened a year ago. I forgot, nobody's talking about it anymore.
Find out a little bit more about that in the next couple of weeks because that is happening at the end of, really, it'll happen in early July after the end of Microsoft's fiscal year. And by the way, if you're wondering...
Yeah, I do think that this is lining up. God of War Laufey, I do think it lines up to see that they would put it out in early next year, especially because the assumption has been, of course, Wolverine is this fall, ? Early next year. Intergalactic we thought was probably late next year. And then you start to get into the realm of like PS6 launch titles after that. And if for example, Intergalactic is late next year, there's a potential that late next year the PlayStation 6 is launching. So it could be a cross-generational game at that point. It's insane to think that we're already on that, like we're at that point where we're starting to talk about like next year PlayStation 6, like that's where we are. But that is where we are. I mean, that's crazy, but that's where we're at in the generation. Next year will be 7 years. 7 years. Which is insane. But we will be about at that point where you got to start thinking, okay, what games are going to be those cross-generational things? That's why like Elder Scrolls 6 probably is going to be one of those next generation games. You got to start planning for that. Same with like Rockstar. They're also anticipating, okay, well, GTA Online, how are we going to juggle that with cross-generational stuff? We need to build that out and have that prepared as well. So certainly something to keep in mind. But I think, especially when you compare just how they've approached marketing, Naughty Dog being pretty much entirely radio silent on everything, and comparing that to
My name is Polina.
comparing that to how they've been everywhere with God of War La Fey, it gives me the feeling that La Fey is much closer and is probably early next year after all. How they market it, I'm not totally sure. It might just be like a trailer at the Game Awards and then they rev up from there. I don't know if they'll do a big marketing push or if they're going to let it just kind of speak for itself, but we will see. The fact that they are advertising it so heavily already, though, makes me think that they're revving up. They're revving up for sure. So there you go. There you go. And Jason seems to corroborate that, saying that it lines up with the timelines he's familiar with as well. So there you go. Interesting little tidbit. Interesting little tidbit. What's this? Lies of PC.
What? But you can't do this to me.
You know how much I sacrificed?
I bought a $7,000 PC. What do you mean? Honestly, if you at this point were really expecting GTA 6 to launch on PC day one, I don't think you deserve it. Like at that point, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for you. Wait, what? Oh, wait, no. Okay, they're not. Wait, are they actual Lego? Hold on. Hans, K-pop, and Henry. Oh, they're Brickperium. They're Lego, but they're not. Okay. I was like, no way. Are they doing official Lego sets for KCD? Are they not? But I think this is that platform that does custom stuff with pieces, but they're not actual like official Lego. Yeah, custom UV printed figures. So they're like 3D printed. Okay. Still cool. I was thinking this was like official Lego. But yeah, it does not originate from Lego. Still, that's cool. I was about to crash out, dude. I was like, no way, they got official Lego sets for KCD. Oh my god. But no, it's a little different. Still cool, but nearly had a heart attack. Like, no way. Oh god, there goes. I was gonna use that money for GTA. Oh god. So anyway. Okay. Let me go here. There was the other one I was gonna look at. Oh my god, dude. It's crazy. This is one of those things where like the whole feed is now just getting flooded with GTA 6 stuff. Like it's hard to find anything else. It is just flooded with it. Like I get it, but damn, he can't even do the GTA 6 picture with a real disc now. Hey, I like that we're all coming together at the same time to remember his contributions. Lord Wisewolf, thank you for that. My prediction, 2027 will be as big as 2007 and 2017. 2017. What were like the biggest games? Breath of the Wild, I guess. 2017 game releases. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed Origins. Let's see. Yeah. It's like of the top ones, Destiny 2. Oh. Oops. So do you mean they're going to announce Destiny 3? Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Dude, It's crazy how different the industry is today. Yeah, Breath of the Wild, that's crazy. Super Mario Odyssey, I thought that was 2018. Was that really 2017? Maybe it was. Yeah, 2017. I guess in my head, I just always thought 2018. Yeah, Super Mario Odyssey, Cuphead, Hellblade, Persona 5. Ooh, baby. Wolfenstein, dude, we're probably getting another Persona next year. Not probably, we're getting another Persona next year. Maybe another Uncharted, that's possible. A new Resident Evil, yeah. Yeah, Persona. I mean, honestly, kind of lines up pretty close. Pretty close. Yeah, too soon, Luke. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything, okay? I just pointed out that Destiny 2 was 2017. I didn't say anything. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. Okay. Anyway, let's see. And Simbler, thank you for the 5. The worst part of GTA's disc and price pushback is that it won't matter or make any difference. This is a dangerous precedent for the industry. Oof. Well, to be clear, the precedent for this was certainly set in advance. So like the precedent was set, 8 years ago, at least I know of Fallout 76 doing it. So this has been done before. They're not really setting the precedent. So it still gets flack. The point is that GTA 6 is getting blowback. People are still going to buy it anyways. But the reason why I'm less worried about like this and the $80 price tag is because I think GTA 6 doing it doesn't just magically clear the path for everybody to get away with it. Because yes, other studios and publishers can say, look, they did it. But what happens if they set their game, say AC Hexa comes out and is $80 and no physical copy, blah, blah, blah. Like they do all the same stuff. Everybody's going to go, okay, well, is your game a $2 billion, $3 billion game? Is it going to compete with GTA 6? Because you're putting yourself in that category. And if you can't compete, we're just going to wait for a sale. And that's exactly what happened with like Outer Worlds 2 when they announced it at 80. People were like, really? You think you're an $80 game? Like, do you think really, truly? And so they just didn't buy. They sat on the sidelines and waited. So I don't think actually that this will just magically mean that every AAA game goes to 80. I don't see that happening. I think if anything, it almost guarantees that they're going to try to come in at 70 or 60 to be seen as like, no, we're not on that level. Don't go crazy. We're a budget option. Budget at 70. But I think like sports games will go to 80. But yeah, I don't think that we'll see most AAA stuff go to 80. Personally, could be wrong. Hope I'm not. But I think that if you put yourself in that $80 category, you are gonna set yourself up for failure because you're gonna just instantly be compared to GTA 6, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Where did I leave off? Club, thank you for that. Wait a minute. So you're telling me we can blame our Lord and Savior Todd and the root of all evil, Yves Gibbon, at the same time? Dude, it's all connected. It's all connected. Flock Gaming, I think I can't tell. Thank you for the 2. Luke, go on a flight so we can get trailer 3. Dude, literally, that would probably work. Edgar Vasquez, thank you for the 2. While we got pre-orders before uncut gameplay. There were snippets of gameplay in the last trailer, to be fair. But they were very, very thin slivers. But I do think we'll get trailer 3 probably tomorrow, but I mean, they can do whatever they want. Let's be real. How about No says with a 5, when do you think we see those old delisted games from the Activision library? I really want old Marvel games for my Steam Deck. Dude, I think they're sitting on a treasure trove. But to be fair, Xbox and Microsoft, they kind of have bigger fish to fry at this point. So that's probably pretty low on the priority list. But I think that they should. I mean, I think that that would just be easy. I mean, you could even do like the Nintendo thing where you release it all as one big library. Put it out for Game Pass subs or something. Like, just do it that way if no other way. But yeah, I think that they've got a treasure trove for sure. Not Locked, thank you for the 5. Says, don't let Mr. Matty hear you talk about physical games that way. He's a big fan. Well, a lot of people are fans of physical games. I think it's it's really, really bad that you're getting to a point where like it's just turning full digital, full everything, because it removes the secondhand market. It removes the ability to share games with friends and family. It removes a lot of the healthy things that happen in a marketplace when you're able to resell things and to trade them off. It just sucks across the board. Game preservation wise, of course, as well. It's really, really bad for that because there is no game in the box. Literally, it's a code. There's no preservation at all. It's all just on servers. And yeah, when it comes to PC, there will be some preservation that can happen that way. But yeah, it just is what it is. I think at this point, the vast majority of users are buying games digitally. It's something crazy like 90 plus, 95 plus % of copies sold are going through digital means. Like people have pretty much just decided they're willing to trade preservation for the convenience of a digital copy. And so that's where everybody's moved. And it's been a concerted effort from the publishers. They benefit from digital copies only. They'd much prefer it. So they've been trying to push people that direction, but it's clear people have moved that direction too. They went with it. What's in the box? A card. I don't know. I wouldn't expect anything crazy. I mean, maybe they do put maps and stuff in there. That'd be cool, but I wouldn't be braced for it. Yeah. Convenience always wins on this earth. I mean, yeah, it's for a lot of people, it's just, well, I like the idea of just downloading it onto my console. I don't like having to go and take the disc and put it back in the case and worry about it getting scratched by the toddler or whatever. Like I'd rather just download it and it's good to go. Like that for a lot of people, that's as simple as it is. Like they like the idea of preserving it, but they also are like, I really like having to not get up from the couch to launch the game. So for a lot of people, that's just how it breaks down. And when tens of millions of people all agree on that and all do the same thing based on that, it just leads to the general shift where you end up where we are now. I blame the kid who leaked it for no discs. Yeah, dude, he's still, we looked up what happened with him. And like that story was always kind of like silly and stupid. And it's like, wow, this crazy super genius kid hacked into Rockstar using a Roku stick and a cell phone, which is insane. But he did do that. And we looked it up and we're like, I wonder where he's at now. I didn't realize though, honest to God, I did not realize until we looked it up like a year or two later, that he also was part of this like group that was allegedly going and like blackmailing women for like pictures and all sorts of like really, really nasty stuff. Like it was not just, haha, I got GTA 6 videos early. He was also doing like some evil, criminal, gross shit. And as far as I know, he still is in like the psych wards. They won't let him out. Like, cause he literally did. I don't know if you've ever seen it. The Goofy video. I think it's here. Do it again. He literally did this.
Guilty? Look, Goofy, I'm Mickey's best lawyer, okay? He wanted me on this case because he cares about you. I'll fucking do it again. Okay, Goofy.
Like he literally said that. They're like, if we let you out, will you not do this again? Will you not hack it? He's like, no, I'll do it again. Like he literally did that. So they're like, well, we can't release you now. You have to stay here. Like, what are we doing? So he's, as far as I'm aware, he's still in like the psych ward somewhere, I think in the UK. Because he's such a super genius, he will do it again. He's like crazy freaking nature. I don't even know how he knows how to do this stuff, but he'll do it again. So he's involuntarily committed indefinitely. But I didn't realize until I looked it up later, because I always just thought it was like teenager that thought it would be funny to get GTA 6. I did not realize that he was also doing like actual like crazy, gross, evil stuff, which is, you know, you learn something new every day. But yeah, it was not all just for the memes. It was not. Not locked. Thank you for the 10. Very generous. I agree. I also don't care about physical so much. I just thought it was funny because you said who cares about physical, and I thought about Mr. Matty and his crusade to save physical games. Well, to be clear, I know a lot of people do care about physical. For like you can even see if I turn off. Like I have a lot of physical games and physical copies and books and collectors stuff all over the place. I have my own physical collections and stuff. But when you look at the broad market, and I'm talking about the market, and like you look at the spreadsheet of who's buying GTA 6, very, very, very few of them care about the disc. Like I'm not saying I like that. Very few of them do. The vast majority of them are like the guys that are going to be playing online, watching XQC, and Aiden Ross trying to work as janitors, and unfortunately, it's just a lot of, mostly the data suggests it's a lot of older, more mature gamers that have been in the industry for much longer that care about physical media. The younger generations don't seem to care that much. Again, not saying that's a good thing, but the data seems to suggest that the younger generations just don't really care. Which, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let's see. We're at the point where if they just stop making discs, people would just deal with it. Yeah, apparently the big issue for like PlayStation and for Xbox with that, if they were to just get rid of disk drives on the consoles, is that I think it's the EU actually has a lot of specific requirements written into the law that were mainly done in like the early 2000s to protect physical media. But like, I think you could get away with it in the US. I don't think you'd be able to get away with it in Europe. So that's why they have to have the option of a detachable drive, because there's all sorts of, in the EU, if you could only buy the games through the PlayStation Store, you could claim that there's a monopoly, because there kind of would be a monopoly. I mean, you could only get the games from one spot. It kind of sounds like a monopoly. So the EU wouldn't allow for that. But if they allow you to plug in a disc drive and then you can buy a game on a disc from another store, PlayStation can go, see, it's not technically a monopoly. That's the main reason I think they exist at this point, because of a loophole. Because of a loophole. So that I think it's one of the cases where the EU is actually helping. It's also like the EU, to their credit, is the reason that we got rid of the stupid ass lightning port on iPhones and everything moved to USB-C, because they also deemed that was I forget the term they used. It wasn't predatory, but it was like overly restrictive, whatever you want to call it. I don't remember the verbiage they used, but basically they're the reason that they pushed for USB-C to become the thing. Not a loophole, consumer protection. Yes, consumer protection. The reason why PlayStation though doesn't, because let's be real, do you think PlayStation gives a crap? do you think PlayStation is like, well, we need to protect user interest? No, if they could do it where everything is only bought through their store, they would do it that way. They are keeping the technicality of like, you can technically, like, yeah, you buy the console and it doesn't have a disc drive, but we can plug one in and then you can buy it this way. So, you know, they kind of are pushing everybody into it, because who wants to buy an $80 disc drive next to their console that's already $600-$700? Like, nobody wants to do that, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people buy their PS5 and they're like, I could technically go get a disc drive, but I'm just going to buy it through PlayStation. And so they make it just convenient, or just inconvenient enough to pursue the consumer protection option, which is to have a disc drive buy separately. That they, I would argue, effectively make it a monopoly by making it really inconvenient to pursue the alternative. Does that make sense? GTA 6 has already been banned in a bunch of Gulf countries. Yeah, I saw it's banned in Kuwait. Not really that surprising, honestly. I think it's going to be banned in a number of countries, but honest statement. Australia might be in trouble. Australia always amazes me, like some of the random games that end up banned there. Australia. Let's see. Let's see. Where's some of them? One of the ones I was thinking of looks like it was taken off, because there was a more recent one. Witcher 2 was banned in Australia. A side quest was given an edit where a choice to accept sex as a reward is automatically turned down, and the game was then rated mature 15 plus. It was banned because there were moments where sexual activity was presented as a reward for things, and that's why it was banned. But Witcher 2, that was banned in Australia. until they changed it. State of Decay was banned because it because it used drugs as incentives and rewards in gameplay. So they had to change the term drugs to vitamins. And then Australia was like, yeah, good enough. I need to take a hit of these vitamins. Saints Row 4 banned because of implied sexual violence and drug use related to incentives and rewards. An appeal was lodged but failed through the though the content involving sexual violence was overturned, the drug use was not. An edited version was released lacking a mission involving alien narcotics. Okay. South Park Stick of Truth was banned in Australia, banned because of scenes of sexual violence involving minors. Those censored scenes involved an underage main character getting probed by aliens. I was like, which scene is this? Oh, the aliens. Yep. Giving an abortion and receiving one. A version was released, replacing these scenes with a card of a koala crying. With a card of a koala crying, humorously explaining what has been cut. That's the most South Park response I've ever seen. Just a video of a koala crying. So yeah, they ban a lot. They ban a lot. There you go. Jesus. I was like, which scene is this in Stick of Truth? Oh, yep. No. Okay. Yep. I'm tracking. I see. Okay. Got it. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Anyway, that was a rabbit hole. I don't know how we got there. How many people will pirate GTA 6 if it's going to be on PC? Well, I honestly don't know. I think it would sell a lot more copies than would pirate it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they're worried about it, but I'm sure they're going to have it cranked out the ass with Denuvo or whatever else. So I would not be surprised if they do that. Warped Space, thank you for the 10. Very generous. Thank you. Holy shizzle. Is GTA 6 the best looking game ever made? I've been looking at the new screenshots for hours now, foaming at the mouth. Also, the Ultimate Edition only being 100. Let's effing go. I do think maybe if you were prepped for it to be like 150, some people thought that the base version was going to be 100. So for some people, I'm sure that this is like, oh my God, this is great. Way better than we were expecting. But yeah, I guess it's all a matter of perspective and framing, I suppose. As for will it be the best looking game ever made? I think best looking and most dynamic open world game, certainly. I think there's probably going to be cases where there's like linear narrative games where I'm sure there's more photorealistic screenshots and moments, but as far as like dynamic open world games, it probably is going to be the most impressive one. The Only Eddie, thank you for the 2. There's hundreds of stores. Anyway, people chill. We don't know that. I would say hundreds is aggressive. I think the estimation, maybe I shouldn't say that. When we got the leaks back a few years ago, there were a lot of pieces of information in there about enterable buildings and about the map in general. And I would not say that there are hundreds of shops. I think I should be careful with how much I say because Rockstar has a itchy trigger finger when it comes to these types of things. But I would not say hundreds of shops, to be clear. Let's see. Has anybody tried that Cursebreaker games on Steam? Really enjoying it at the moment? I have not, but I will look it up in another tab after stream. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I have it pulled up. Thank you, my friend. Always like a good suggestion. Warped Space, thank you for the 2 as well. Also, the Vice City Edition stuff is amazing. It is a vibe. I will give them that. It does look pretty baller. Thank you for the 5. Also, Coca-Cola, thank you for that. My hesitancy is that all of the exclusive items feel very GTA Online flavored, and it's like Whiplash compared to what we've seen before. I do agree, and I would guess that a lot of it is going to be cross-compatible with the online mode, which is probably why it looks that way. I think you probably will see that those same skins are usable in the online mode. Beyond that, I do agree that it's a totally different vibe, and that's part of the idea is that they want it to feel very clearly different from what you're getting in the base game. Partially because then it differentiates it, but it also makes it very, very clear when people see gameplay clips or footage and stuff, it gives potentially some FOMO. you know, I think that's part of the idea. Tea Drinker, thank you for the 10 as well. Very, very generous. This is both cool and scummy because I've always felt I don't get enough digital content for $100, but it still sucks for people that can't get it. And it feels like they are pushing you to get this version at this point. Oh, absolutely. No, I think it's going to work. I think probably like 70 to 80% of copies will probably end up being the Ultimate Edition. Maybe not at first, but I think when people start driving around the map and running into a shop that's once again locked behind the Ultimate Edition, they drive, they play for another couple of hours, they run into another shop that's locked behind the Ultimate Edition. I think at that point people will be like, it's only $20, and they'll do it. So I think after all is said and done, the percentage will be pretty heavily stacked towards the Ultimate Edition, without a doubt. Let's see. Warped Space, also thinking of the Vive. I'm so glad they actually made the Ultimate Edition worth it this time with all the exclusives. GTA 5 was kind of a letdown. Only the Collector's Edition was good. I wonder if they do a Collector's Edition, I really wonder what that's going to be like. Because like, surely they're doing one, right? Like, it just seems to make too much sense not to. Like, surely. Will it have regional pricing? I don't think they've clarified, but pre-orders will open at midnight in your time zone. So we'll find out real quick if it's regional pricing, but I'm honestly not sure. I'm not sure, but I'm sure it's adjusted. So like in Canada, I'm guessing it's going to be whatever that is, 109, 120, something like that. That'd be my guess. Let's see. Oh, I wonder if they do this when the PC version comes out. Because I bet mods will unlock those shops and doors. Yeah, I think it probably does too. And I think that's also one of the benefits for them in waiting to do the PC port. Because, yeah, okay, you're a PC player, you got that. Okay, whatever. Like, it's fine. It's why also I would not be surprised if they do a lot of anti-cheat stuff and like de novo stuff right at launch, because the whole goal is when the initial spike of sales hits, you want people buying it instead of pirating it and modding it and doing stuff, because you want to push them into buying it if you can manage it. So yet another reason why I think they're delaying PC. Not delaying, I think this was always the plan. I don't think it was delayed, but yeah. How likely is it that they lock the online mode to a certain mode, quality versus performance, to keep it playing, to keep it an even playing field? I would guess, as with a lot of online games, and this is even true of GTA 5, like the online mode runs at a different set of presets compared to everything else. So it does not run at the same fidelity settings as the base game in the story mode. Same with Red Dead 2 and Red Dead Online. It runs at a different balancing. So I would guess that you might have quality and performance mode in the story mode, but then when you go to online, it's one mode that is default. Maybe it's different on PS5 Pro or whatever, but yeah, I would guess it's probably going to be just one setting for online. PC, of course, it opens up, but yeah, on console, I think it's going to be one, regardless of platform. Key Rift, thank you for the 5. If you're interested, there's a new Unleash the Avatar gameplay trailer. Ooh, thank you for letting me know. I'll open another tab. Maybe we look at that in the next one. That could be interesting, because I know some people have been asking about that, wondering what it's like. Brian, thank you for the 5 as well. How much better do you think the PC versions will be for GTA 6? I mean, it's going to be night and day. You got to remember that GTA 6 is being built for 2020 $500 hardware. Really, I mean, you could even say $300 hardware, because it allegedly runs on the Series S. Allegedly. But I would guess that it's going to be night and day. I mean, the difference between a $500 2020 device and then like a $4,000 to $5,000 gaming PC from 2020, probably 7, it'll be night and day. Like full path tracing, everything. I think it's going to be outrageous, but I think we aren't going to see it until next year. Runs more like walks. That's a good way of putting it. That's a good way to put it. Hope trailer day tomorrow. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it makes sense to me to put the trailer out, but I mean, what do I know? They're going to do whatever they want. Real quick, Maestro, thank you for the 10. Very generous. Day 14. I'm living in Luke's left shoe and he still hasn't noticed. I wish he wouldn't clip this big nail. I need more room for my yoga mat. Patience. What a delightfully strange message, Maestro. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I love original messages. I appreciate it. Thank you. Ocean Z, thank you for the 2. So are you saying GTA 6 won't have RPG elements? Oh, you mean we were talking about online? GTA Online will have RP servers. because they bought the people that make them. 5M, they bought the guys that made 5M and the platform there. So online will. The story-based mode is not an RPG. They've never said it was an RPG. It's never been advertised as an RPG. So no, I would not call the base story mode an RPG. Just like I would not call Red Dead Redemption 2 an RPG. Like, yeah, there might be like a morality system. There might be like, you know, good, bad, basically for actions. Maybe. We haven't seen evidence of that. There were things like that allegedly in some of the leaks, but who knows if that's in the final version of the game. But I would not say, I would not call it a roleplay game. I would not. Armin Coleman, thank you for the 5. Who you like more, Insomniac Peter or Insomniac Miles? Me, Miles, but Peter with the symbiote is different. I'm going to break it down even more, Armin Coleman, because I like Spider-Man 1, Peter, more than any of them. Spider-Man 2, Peter, is a bit of a loser. So I would prefer Miles. So if we're going Spider-Man 2, Peter, I prefer Miles. Spider-Man 1, Peter, I prefer Peter. And of course, MJ beats them all. Yeah, exactly. Specifically in those really boring parts. I love that part. That's the best. That's the best. Exactly. Exactly. Temperance, thank you for the 2. Rockstar ain't playing ain't paying that. Rockstar ain't paying nothing. They do whatever they want. Ooh, I scrolled too far. Oh my god. Oh my god. Do I think we get a trailer, says Romo? I think probably tomorrow, I would guess. Team Nebula, thank you for the 5. Hey Luke, have you seen the leaked Black Flag Resynced MTX outfit? It looks so stupid. I have not. I will look it up in another tab, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for that. I have not seen a leaked outfit. So I will have to dig into that. But no, I've not seen that yet. Interesting. I'll have to find it. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you. I'll dig into that. Ray Flo, thank you for the 5. Never mind. Can you send me the Super Chats money back? I need GTA 6 Ultimate Edition. Morally, I shouldn't be. Morally, I shouldn't. But deep down, all who can will do it. Actually, never mind. Can you refund me? I don't even know if YouTube lets you refund. I don't think it even lets you. I'll dig it. Email me. Email me. Romo, thank you for the 2. Again, do we think we get the trailer tomorrow? I would think so. I would think so. Steve, thank you for that. For that 10. Luke, do you have any knowledge of what's going on with Neo Berlin? Game looks really cool, but seems to have disappeared. I'm hoping they are just in lockdown and they're just hyper focused. But I also I agree. It's weird that they've gone totally silent. But hopefully when they come out swinging, they come out with some new stuff that's really cool. But I've not heard anything else. I don't have any like secret knowledge or anything. But maybe we'll reach out. We'll see if they can let us know for like New Game Plus or something. Sir Thomas, thank you for the 10 as well. GTA 5 came out when I was in high school. I have adult money now. I'm going to buy the most expensive GTA 6 edition released and my parents can't say anything about it. You know what? Hell yeah. But you got to call your parents and be like, I did it. And they're like, what? I bought it. I bought it. I bought it. Suck it up. Suck it up, mom. I think that's what you have to do. Otherwise, it doesn't fulfill the vision. Let's see. NG, thank you for the super chat. How many years do you think the PS5 will stay relevant? I think the cross-generational period between PS5 and PS6 is going to be like 3 to 4 years. Worse than it was this generation, where like the PS4 was still getting ports until 2024. It even was getting Call of Duty through 2025. I think the same thing is going to happen because very few people are going to be able to afford the PlayStation 6 when it launches. So I don't think it's going to be a clean cut. I think it's going to be a big cross-generational, cross-platform thing for years. Yeah, to the point where I'm kind of like, why would they even need to get the PlayStation 6 out the door? But they seem pretty confident they need to do it. So what are you going to do? Luke, do we know when the next New Game Plus show is? The plan is for it to go live in November. Our plan is for 2027. We want to investigate doing like a fall showcase as well, or a summer showcase as well in like maybe July where we can show some stuff. But it just kind of depends on how it builds out. But we will have another show in January 2027. We will be doing it. We've scouted venues. We're actively talking with publishers and getting trailers and stuff. Demos and stuff. So it is happening. We will be doing another New Game Plus showcase in January. So buckle up. Buckle up, buckaroo. Buckle up. Buckle up. It's going to be great. Guitar Guy. Thank you for that. 23 months. Ooh, baby. For GTA 6, my prediction was off. I thought they would do $70 base game, 100 for early access. Oh, I did read that one earlier. Yeah, a lot of people had wide varieties of expectations. But I ended up being less aggressive than I personally thought it would be. Ori, thank you for that one as well. Luke, did you get the invite for the Squadron 42 playtest? No. I've actually had a number of people reach out asking if I got the invite to go to, I think it's Birmingham, to go try Squadron 42 early. No, they did not reach out. For anybody not familiar, that's the Star Citizen story mode we've talked about on numerous occasions. But no, they did not reach out to me. They still could. I don't know if I'd be able to make it work, but they still can reach out. I'm always willing to talk and chat. But it seems like for whatever reason, they have decided not to reach out. So we'll see. We're still going to talk about it probably, but we'll see. Let's see. Fear Boat, thank you for the 2. I emailed you about joining the Discord. Thank you. Yes, we're getting our ducks in a row. I have like 12, I think, that I have to specifically green light. So don't worry. We're working on it. Lord Wise Wolf, thank you for the 2. My prediction, 2027 will be as big as, I read that one earlier. Harris, maybe? Thank you for that 5. When will we ever see or hear of Red Dead Redemption 3 development? I just played RDR 2 for the first time, and I was never big into GTA. Red Dead Redemption 2's narrative might be my favorite ever. We don't know. We know that one of the heads of Rockstar went on Lex Fridman's podcast and talked about how they did at one time experiment with a medieval concept, but that was kind of set on the shelf for when they moved over to GTA 6. So it is possible they circle back to that. It's possible. Personally, I don't really know where else you go without it just feeling like more. Like, I feel like they did a pretty good job of tying up all the knots pretty cleanly. But, you know, we could see any number of things. I personally would like them to try something different. I would love to see them do something medieval. I think that would be so freaking cool. Seriously, imagine a medieval game, but with Rockstar behind it. Rockstar storytelling and world building. Oh my God. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Rockstar died when Dan Houser was usurped. To be fair, I heard the exact same thing said about Leslie Benzies. You can find Reddit threads and stuff of people talking about how Rockstar is screwed because Leslie Benzies was just pushed out, and how, you know, Red Dead 2 is going to flop and GTA 6 is going to flop because Leslie's not involved anymore. And to prove them right, Leslie went off and founded a studio and made a little game called Mind's Eye. So I'll believe it when I see it. Rockstar is a lot bigger than any one person. It's a lot bigger than just one dude, which is why it's successful. Like, it's a team that makes this stuff. So whenever I see people being like, oh, this studio's dead because this guy left, it's like, maybe. But the hope is the team is able to kind of pick up the reins and keep it going, because the team is really good. So I am not one of the doom and gloomers, personally. I know some people are like, Rockstar's dead. They said the same thing before, and they said that this was the guy that made it amazing. So we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. Cupcake, thank you for the super chat. How long do these game companies wait to put their products on sale? The reason I'm asking is because I walked into an EB game store and saw Astrobot at $80, and it's been out since 2024. I think there's many moving parts. They have to shuffle them on sale if they do it. There's also regulations depending on the country where, like, it has to be on sale for, or it has to be at full price for a certain amount of time before it goes on sale. We had this problem at Best Buy regularly where, like, if you had a TV for sale, 10% off or something, it has to go back to full price for a set period of time. Otherwise, that's not the full price. Otherwise, the sale price is full price. If you sell something for $900, but you have on the sticker full price is $1,000, but it literally has never been on sale for $1,000. It's only ever been on sale for $900. The price isn't $1,000. You know, clearly the price is actually $900 and you're just trying to make people think it's on sale. So they have to regularly pull it back to full price according to regulations, and at least in the US, you have to do that. So that might be part of the reason why you see it at full price even at this time. But it's up to them. Like Nintendo very rarely puts stuff on sale. PlayStation does it less than they used to. Certainly within their storefronts, they put it up very, very rarely. But yeah, it just depends. Just depends. I am in Amin. Thank you for that. Do you think the Xbox Series X will have performance advantages over the base PS5, and the whole GTA 6 plays best on PS5 marketing only refers to the Pro? I don't know. But I don't think it's a big priority for Xbox right now. Asha has said multiple times that they cannot make as many consoles as there is currently demand. So because of the cost of the whole thing, and they can't manufacture enough. So I don't think even Asha wants to sell that many Xbox Series X's and S's, because it seems like they're actually losing a good chunk of change on most of them that they're selling. So I don't think it's that big of a priority for them. They're going to let kind of PlayStation do their thing and try to reset with next gen. But no, I think if PlayStation is saying it plays best on PS5, they understand that I mean, they didn't say it plays best on PlayStation 5 Pro. They said plays best on PlayStation, full stop. And they have to be able to defend that in case of a lawsuit for false advertising and stuff. So I think it's just... I would not expect it to magically run at 4K 60 on the Series X, but only at 4K 30 on the PS5. I would not expect it. I don't see any evidence of that. They generally run games fairly close to each other, so I would guess they're going to look pretty close to each other. Not Locked, thank you for that 10. I agree. I also don't care about physical so much. I just thought it was fun. Oh, I read that one earlier. Thank you for that again, my friend. Kenneth the Wolf, thank you for the 5. If you're going to get rid of physical, games should not be $80 or more in the future. It's just pure greed and horrible principle to set. I mean, I agree. Certainly it's greedy to be like, yeah, so selling it physical has the cost of physical distribution, the case, everything. Shipping it, housing it, putting it on the shelves. It has all those added costs. So we make more money when you buy digitally, but you'll notice the cost is not lower digitally. It was like 5 years ago, they would do that, where it was like physical it's 70 or physical it's 60, but digital it's 50. Some companies did that, but now it's just everything is the same price. They just do it that way. Because they want you to go, I'll just go digital, you know? So I agree. It is just greed. And if they were being totally fair, they would just lower the price for digital. But I mean, they know they don't have to. People will still buy it. Wallet the Great, thank you for that one as well. Mind you, he hacked them whilst in police custody after hacking Microsoft and Nvidia. Also, why are the PC elitists seething about no physical disc? LOL. I'm not sure. Are there PC elitists seething about it? I mean, PC has not been a physical preservation platform for a very long time. It's been digital for as long as I can remember. I mean, when was the last time somebody bought a PC game physically? Like, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. So I don't know. That would be interesting if there's PC fans that are really perturbed by it. It's one of those things. I like a physical preservation, but I also will not pretend as though Steam is like some great hub of physical media preservation. Like Steam is literally like the king of digital libraries. And they're the best at it, in my opinion. They're the best at it. They know what they're doing. But let's not pretend as though like they're the same thing, you know? Wallet, let's see. Oh, I read that one. Stefan, thank you for that. Consider both Xbox and PlayStation. Do you think GTA 6 cannot fit on a disc or two, or are Rockstar just being a word by not releasing full on disc. I think it's probably a mixture of cost and avoiding leaks.
Years _and_the_ joint donated $100 through Super
Jesus!
Chat. GTA 6 is expansive. I can't pre-order it.
Who's gonna tell him? Jesus, Mr. 10 years into joint. Thank you, my friend. That's crazy. That's incredibly generous. Guys, I can finally get GTA 6. I can get GTA 6 right now. I can do it. That's crazy. Very generous of you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Very, very generous. Very generous. Thank you. Thank you for your pre-order, sir. Yeah, exactly. That's very, very kind of you. Let's see what else. I forgot what I was saying. That's very generous. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. But what I was saying, yeah, let's be real. This is not a consideration. This is not a question of whether they can fit it on a disc. This is a matter of they want you to buy it digitally and they want you buying it physically to seem kind of stupid and like, why bother? So just buy it digitally. So do it that way because they'll make more that way. So let's be clear. This is not a real concern of like physical economics. This is just like buy it digital. That's what they want you to do. I think that's pretty clearly what they want you to do. Let's see. Silver Lightning as well. Thank you for that. 5. The Ultimate Edition says extra stuff for chapters. Do you think it's more story stuff? That would be nasty. No, what I think they meant by that is that certain things in there, like the kayak, maybe you unlock the kayak at chapter 2. You unlock access to the cosmetic shop for off-roading after you do the first off-roading mission in chapter 3. I think that's what they mean. Not that there's going to be specific like story quests and stuff like expanded out per chapter. I think what they mean is that these things unlock at different times throughout the story. That would be my guess. That'd be my guess. Let's see. I scrolled too far. The Ultimate Edition. They're saying the GTA 6 download size is 676 gigs. I saw that tweet. It was community noted. So I don't think that's true. I think that's just speculation. I think. Now, of course, I can't find it. But yeah, I believe that was just somebody saying stuff. I don't think that's actually true. If it is, yeah, so here. Yeah, this is what you're talking about. Gaming Central. Xbox has accidentally leaked the file size of GTA 6. Well, it's on their store page. 676 gigabytes. And it says the screenshot is fabricated. The game is not compatible with Xbox One and no file size listed. I don't know why it would say Xbox One because it's not releasing on Xbox One. And when you go to the actual page, it doesn't list Xbox One and it doesn't list a file size. So, yeah. No shit, it's a joke. This is the problem. There's Poe's Law again. Poe's Law. It is an adage of internet culture which states that without clear indicator of the author's intent, any parodic or sarcastic expression of extreme views can be mistaken by some readers for sincere expression of those views. Basically, nowadays, trolling and people joking is incompatible, or it's indistinguishable with people being like totally serious. So there are people that really will think and see that and really will think that the game's install size is 676 gigabytes, even though like it's a 6-7 joke. 6767. Like clearly it's a joke. There's a lot of people who will see that and not realize it's a joke. And so we have to debunk the joke, unfortunately. That's just how it is. So that's just how it is. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Raphael, thank you for the 24 months. Oh, baby. Thank you for that. Buy a PS5 now or wait a bit more. I mean, let's be real. They're only getting more expensive. As we've said, the best strategy is if you really, really want a PlayStation 5, it probably makes sense to get it now before they start selling out, because they will. But that's only if you're absolutely already going to get one. If you're still on the fence, I would encourage you to wait until like next year. But if you don't have one, if you know you want one, it's probably sooner rather than later, because they're going to start to sell out, and then scalpers will go up, and then they're also going to be raising the prices again. So it's just, yeah, exactly. Just get a Steam machine. Or buy used. That's a good, actually, Brian, I think you that's a good point. If you go and let's say you need this to play GTA 6, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be selling their base PS5s to get the PS5 Pro for it. So maybe keep an eye on like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, stuff like that for a used one and buy it that way. Probably save a good chunk of change, honestly. Let's see. Thank you, 10 years in the joint again for the generous 10 and that 100. That was outrageous. Thank you, my friend. Very, very kind of you. Thank you. Let's see. Tony, thank you for 2 months. Oh, baby. Thank you for all your amazing videos. You've submitted yourself as my favorite content creator. And curious if you've heard anything about Infamous. Have I? Have I? Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. I do think Infamous will not be on ice forever. I think they will go back to it. As for what that looks like when that is, that probably is going to be a disappointment for you because I don't think it's going to be in the way that you're expecting, or as soon as you might hope it is. But I don't think it's going to be on ice forever. I don't think it'll be on ice forever. My $10 super chat donut is so delayed. Yeah, dude, we got backed up real quick, real good, backed up real good. We got plugged up. I once casually, when talking about chat, described how my chat was bricked up, thinking that just meant it's like I'm backed up, like I gotta catch up on chat. Turns out being bricked up means something different. I learned that. Oops. Don't Google it. Bananas, thank you for the membership as well. Throbbing 37 Pakistani American. What a name. Thank you for the membership, my friend. Mr. 10 years, thank you again for the 10. Dude, you sent 2. I didn't even realize. Thank you. You're such a dad, dude. Sometimes I feel so old. The shirt is exactly the same as in the thumbnail. I'm satisfied. You know what? I actually selected specifically. I was like, no, this one matches. Yeah. Let's see. Guitar Guy, thank you for the 5 as well. In GTA 6, you're going to be able to loot items and store stolen items to be fenced later, as well as hunt down and restore old cars. Light RPG elements. I guess if you consider those light RPG elements, they seem to me to be kind of a continuation of what was done in GTA or in Red Dead Redemption 2. So to me, it just seems like a natural evolution of that, but I'm not sure if it would count technically as an RPG. Clint Naburs, maybe. Thank you for the membership, my friend, as well. Mr. 10 years in the joint also said Mind's Eye is peak. I was trying to think of a joke. Mind's Eye peeking out of the dumpster fire. I was like, I don't know. I was trying to think of a joke. Like, it's like peeking Mind's Eye. Trash. I couldn't think of anything. I'm sorry. I sat there. I was like, there's got to be something there. I don't peak disappointment. Mind's Eye peaking disappointment. I don't know. There's something there. Thank you for that, my friend. Chevy, thank you for the 5. Shows how far behind I am. I walk outdoors in Central Texas. I get home. I don't go outside until fall, dude. Hell yeah. That's the way to do it. Jog Live, I think. Thank you for the 5. So, Luke, I saw your video discussing God of War Lao Fei. Is it wrong to think God of War is about the character Kratos, not other characters? No, I think God of War is about the God of War. The point of God of War Lao Fei is that they are, like, how do I say this without getting in trouble? This is not, Kratos is not going to be absent in this game. Okay? It's important to understand that I'm walking on eggshells right now. Okay? Understand. I'm trying to be coy. There's God of War 2018. There's God of War Ragnarok. And some people think like this is the Norse Saga bubble. Okay, maybe I do a different color. Okay, this is the Norse Saga bubble. And they think that Lao Fei is like full spin-off over here. It's my understanding that this is not what it is. You see, I'm using cubes. See, it's all connected. It's my understanding, for various reasons, it's much more this. Okay. I think that this is much less of a spin-off, and it's more the final piece of the trilogy that connects everything together. So Kratos will not be like totally absent. Kratos will actually be a big part of this. Kratos and Atreus' story and everything that happened in those two games. It's all going to be tied together. It's basically I should stop talking. But I think if you look at a lot of the discussions, a lot of the interviews, a lot of the videos from back in 2018, you can start to get this picture painted pretty clearly. You don't need any sort of super secret exclusive info. But I think if you're thinking that this is like full spin-off, totally unrelated, that is not what this is. They didn't do a good job of explaining that though, Luke. I agree. I think often there is when you want to be coy and you want to be like mysterious, sometimes things get left on the table that should have been more clearly explained. I agree. They could communicate it much better. I think that they're leaving a lot to the imagination, and I'm sure that that's something that they're going to continue to explore. How do we explain to people what this game is? As the months go by, I think that's going to be one of their main goals. So I agree. It's not been communicated clearly what exactly this is, and that's left a lot of people thinking this is called God of War, but it's a totally different game with a different protagonist, which is not what it appears to be. It seems to be like this connects directly into the other two games and ties all of it together, kind of as a foundation that intertwines tons of plot points and stuff. But yeah. Call Corey. I'll call him. We'll get him on the phone. Corey, talk to me. What's in the box? What's in the cube? What's in the cube? Dude, the cube existed a decade ago. The cube is not new. Anybody who's like, the cube was clearly added after 2022 or something. No, the cube's been there forever. It's like, yeah. Anyway. Where did I go wrong? Nightmare. Stride, thank you for that super chat. Do you think the physical copy of GTA 6 will come with some goods on top, like a map or something? I hope. I'm going to guess no, but I hope. I just have come to expect very little with physical releases because they try not to incentivize them. They try to push you to buy digital. So I hope there is a map, but I would guess there probably isn't. But I hope there is. Ian, thank you for that. 5 was not even old enough to play GTA 5 when it came out. Now the new one comes out. I'll be 19. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. Welcome to Highguard. Welcome to GTA 6. I'm sorry, I can't say welcome anymore without saying Highguard. I was like out and about and like I saw, like, you know how like the stereotypical suburban home has the like welcome sign next to the front door on like a big piece of wood for some reason. It just welcome. I was driving through the neighborhood, like going to get the mail, and I'd see that welcome to Highguard. I was like, what is wrong with me? I was like, what am I saying? That wasn't even prompted. I just saw welcome to Highguard. Yeah. Live, laugh, love. Exactly. It just comes out of me. Its legacy will live on. RPG veteran, thank you for the 5. 2028 will be bigger than 2026. Imagine Witcher 4 and Elder Scrolls 6 going toe to toe. Dude, I think they will. And I think it's going to be amazing. It'll be so entertaining. Yes. I do think Witcher 4 and Elder Scrolls 6 launch in the same year, and I think that that's going to be fascinating. Burr XD, thank you for the 5. My best mate bought the new Snap-on Toolbox, and got a new Snap-on Toolbox and got a base PS5 for free for buying the toolbox, and I bought it for 150 because he didn't want it. Dude, what? That's baller. That's awesome. I need to be friends with your friend. That's great. Thank you for the 5. My only concern about GTA 6 is the facial animations. They're a bit stiff from what we've seen so far. For $2 billion, I expected more. Interesting on. I think they look really good in all the trailers I've seen, but I guess we'll see in the final version. Considering how good they were in Red Dead 2, I'm not too worried. But we'll see. Throbbing at 37, Pakistani American. Again, what a name. Thank you for the 10. Appreciate you. Is it confirmed $80 standard edition on GTA 6? Yes, it is. It's on their website and everything. I dropped cash just to see if Trevor gets therapy or if the game crashes. Loading screen. Wait, is this 2030 or did I sleep through all these years? Absurd. If Trevor gets if therapy and if the game crashes on the loading screen. I think I'm confused, but I think the I'm confused. That's it. Full stop. I'm confused. Overall, I think I'm glad they didn't go to 90. I'm glad they didn't go to 100. I always thought 70 was unrealistic because they could totally charge 80 and it would be totally like, if they, as I've said before, I like, this is the way I put it. If they were going to sell 10 million copies day one at, we'll say at 70, I think going to 80, they sell like 9,990,000. So I think it's like very negligible, the lost sales from this, because I think everybody was already expecting 80. I don't think anybody was really braced for it. What I want to know, hold on, Take Two is down with the reveal of the pricing 2% for the day. And this seems to be primarily because investors were hoping they would charge 90 or 100. So they're down 2% based almost exclusively on the pricing of GTA 6. Which is crazy. Shows you, I mean, what investors were expecting and hoping. Investors were really hoping for $100. So, like when you look at this, it's like, oh yeah, I can see why they felt pressured to like make exclusive stuff. Can't say I'm that shocked. But
at Meta318 donated $19.99 through Super Chat.
Thank you.
I understand my ignorance, but if game development costs are the highest they've ever been and a large portion of budgets come from developers' salaries, can we say game developers are being paid the best they've ever have?
I think it's tough to make broad sweeping conclusions like that because in some companies that answer is probably true. In many, I'm sure it's true. Is it like have those salaries kept up with inflation? I don't know because it's again a case by case basis. The biggest problem it seems for a lot of game development companies is that where the teams are, they tend to be very expensive places to live and therefore to operate a studio because you have to pay people living wages where they are. It's much cheaper to live in India than it is to live in San Francisco. So if you have a team of 500 people in San Francisco and they work for 4 to 5 years, that game is going to cost $200 million. If that game is made by the team in India and you work on it for 4 to 5 years, they can pump it out at like $30 million, like for comparatively very, very, very little. So it depends a lot on where you are. That's why Take Two for GTA 6, they have like 1,700 developers in India that they pay $7,000 US annually. Like their annual salary is like $7,000. That's crazy. That's according to like their own 10K documents and financial filings. That same software engineer that's working in India, if he lived in San Francisco, they would have to pay him like $120,000, $130,000, $140,000 annually. Not to mention all the other costs of operating in San Francisco, all the taxes and everything else. So what seems to be happening is that a lot of companies are getting out of the expensive cities and metropolitan centers, and they're either hiring elsewhere or they're trying to move teams and shuffle developers around to get them to go to cheaper areas where it makes more sense. So I think in the next like 5 to 10 years, the big push is going to be teams, even that are fairly successful, if they are on or if they are in really expensive places in the world, they are going to be targeted pretty heavily for layoffs and restructurings and stuff. A lot of more remote work, satellite offices, stuff like that will become very, very common because it's just too expensive to operate in San Francisco, Paris, Montreal, like a lot of these creative hubs. So yeah, I think that's the bigger problem. There are people getting paid more than ever. That is true. And that's also part of the reason why games are more expensive than ever to make. But there's a lot of moving parts to it. You know, there's also other studios where it's not that simple, where, you know, the wages have stagnated and it's still super expensive because productivity's dropped or because the game's expectations have skyrocketed and they've had development hell. Like there's all sorts of stuff. You know, not that simple. Clint, thank you for the 10. The place Faye ended up is the afterlife of the gods, correct? So my question is, who exactly is the cube and ribbon sword? Like, is everyone there a god? ... It also sounds like you may run into some people from the original trilogy. I think it was asked of the game director if we'd run into anybody from Kratos' past or anybody that Kratos has previously killed, and they refused to say. Which, you know, it's one of those things when somebody is asked a very direct question and somebody goes, no comment, it kind of tells you everything you need to know. You know, you're like, okay. Montreal's very expensive too. Yeah, the way I describe Montreal is that it's bolder, but bigger. And very Canadian. But they have great food. Oh my God. Oh my God. Montreal's so good. I love the food there. Shotgun Salad, thank you for the membership. Tom the Temp, thank you for the 10. Do you think UE 5.8 will truly help speed up development in games or for games who use the UE engine? Them showing off the AI building in the park looked promising. I think it might speed stuff up, but the real thing for Unreal Engine right now is just stability. Like they've got to fix the reality that, or find some answer to it, where when people hear Unreal Engine nowadays, they roll their eyes. They go, oh boy, here we go. Stutterfest, here we go. It's going to be blurry and stutter like crazy. Here we go. And they got to deal with that. They got to deal with that. Because so long as that's what people associate with Unreal Engine, you can only go so far. You know, you can only go so far. So they've got to address that. Let's see. Dylan, thank you for the 5. God, I hope in God of War La Fey that I get to kill Zeus again for all the shit from the first 3 games. You never know. Yas says with a 5, I love what you do. Do you think God of War will ever do anything with Atreus again? Maybe La Fey is opening up the door for more lead protagonists. I don't know. I think just honestly I don't know what that would look like. Like we all thought that there was going to be a little spin-off game with Atreus, but they didn't do that. Instead, they did the Valhalla DLC, which was awesome. And now they're doing Lao Fei. I don't know what that would look like. So I'd be surprised if they did an Atreus game. He might show up as a supporting character, but as for a dedicated game, I don't. I'd be very surprised. Notlock said the queue being written at the same time, or at that time, only makes me more worried. It's where a lot of bad writing started. From like the 2018, 19, 2020 period. Sure, I could see that. It was like peak of Marvel fandom. But when I say like the cube came from that period when they were charting out the whole storyline, what I mean is that like the story beats were written. Like individual dialogue, banter, like one of the main complaints and concerns for people has been the banter. Fears that like the cube is going to be really annoying, constantly talking to you and stuff. And that I think is a valid concern. Companion dialogue and banter is really easy to screw up. So I think that that's a fair concern to have. Absolutely. And that is something that would have been done much later, like in 2022, 2023, 2024 as they've been developing it. So yeah, I agree. Marvel quips and companion dialogue, really easy to make annoying, and that is absolutely something to keep an eye on for sure. Okay, I read that one. FBay, yes, we did talk about the GTA price and pre-order stuff. We sure did. Thank you for the 5. Joel, do you think other studios feel validated to sell their games at $80 now? Cough, cough, EA, cough, cough, Ubisoft, even though it's just a slop game. I think there will be companies that try. I think sports games will absolutely be 80 across the board now if they're not already. Things like that are being sold to people that are more price insensitive. But I think for AAA stuff, if you try to price at 80 now, you're just going to be compared to GTA 6, and everybody's going to go, okay, your game looks fine, but like, is it a $3 billion behemoth GTA 6 level game? If it's not, I'm not paying 80. I'm going to wait for a sale. And that's what happened with like Outer Worlds 2. That's what I think would happen if they try to do that with Assassin's Creed and with this and with that. I think it's going to be very, very rare that things go to 80, but I think we'll see some companies try to do it and it will go poorly. And then everybody will realize, oh no, that's only for like the biggest of the biggest games. And that's how it's going to be. How many copies do you think GTA 6 would have sold at 60? A good bit more. But I think in order to justify 60, realistically, they would have crammed even more stuff in the Ultimate Edition to push you into that. So a good bit more. I don't know how many millions more, but I'm so curious to see how many copies they pre-sell when pre-orders are fully up. I'm so excited to find out what that number is, because I think it's going to be shocking. Like a crazy, crazy number. Sloth Jams, thank you for the 5. We got to appreciate GTA 6 when it comes out, because we're probably not going to get GTA 7 until the 2040s. I'll be in my 50s. It is crazy to say, but yeah, probably late 2030s or early 2040s. Yeah, you're not crazy. I do think you're probably right. This will be the last game for another like 15 years, realistically. Probably, yeah. Yeah, because even if they just do one other game between, that still is a while. You know, it's wild to say, but I think you're right. And then Kakatawa, maybe, thank you for the 10. My prediction is GTA 6's price will expedite the fall of lots of AAA publishers. While I don't like devs losing their jobs, I can't wait for indie and AAA or AA to shine. I think a 7th gen like golden era is coming. Yeah, I think the industry is actively changing, but it's especially going to next gen going to shift even more. What I'm interested in though is like the big push has been for a long time. The push has been away. Let me back up. Like, you know how every few years there's a new meta. Like for a while there, late 2018, 19, 2020, 21, everybody was trying to do Battle Royale. Everybody was doing it. Like hell, even Fallout 76 had a Battle Royale mode for a bit. Maybe it still does. I don't know. But everybody was chasing that meta, right? And then it shifted and it became generalized live service. And everybody's trying to make their own Overwatch meets this, meets that. That was the meta. And that crashed and burned. I wonder, what is the next meta? You know, like what is the next thing that everybody starts chasing? And I've been thinking about it. I've been trying to think of like, what would that be? And I think it probably ends up being something like Eastern developers. Maybe it's something where like a lot of money floods into Korean and Japanese and Chinese developers to make like Black Myth Wukong, to make Phantom Blade Zeros, to make Blood Message, to make Tides of Annihilation, to make games like that. I wonder if that's the next meta. GTA clones. The problem with GTA clones is that the only way to do it is to spend like $1 billion. And the guys that used to try that are like Saints Row and Watch Dogs. And we all know how those ended. You know, didn't end super well. So I don't think that that's the next meta, because I think these investors have realized that that doesn't make sense. What I think also you will see a lot of are attempts to empower, is probably the word they'll use, small, like single A and double A teams. I think the next like true meta is going to be big publishers that they find a guy who is able to spot the next Expedition 33 before it even has like really started production. You need the visionary who can spot those games and the potential very early so that you can be the publisher of Mecha Chameleon. So that you can be the publisher of Expedition 33, of this, of that. These small games that just have really clever ideas that go super viral. And it's not just blind luck. Sony's approach with like live service was just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. That clearly doesn't work because you just burn too much money. What you need is somebody who can tactically choose, this is going to be big, and 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 hunt those down. If I ran Xbox and PlayStation right now, I would be chasing down and building out like a publishing arm, kind of like EA Originals, honestly. Like EA Originals, they went out and to their credit, they found a bunch of indie devs and smaller teams, and they struck gold with Hazelight, which was pitching something that, especially at the time, was insane. Hazelight was like, we have this idea. We want to make these split screen couch co-op games where two people play a game together from beginning to end. They're story based. They're not live service. And you only need, we'll allow you to play it remote. So not even necessarily just couch co-op, but you can play it online with each other. And you only have to buy one copy. And EA of all companies said, bet, we'll do it. We'll pay for it. And then they released It Takes Two, win Game of the Year in 2021. Prints money. They had one of the highest reviewed games of last year with Split Fiction. Like, you need the guys that can spot those projects and give them the runway they need to be successful. I think if an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Valve or anybody can find a way to build out a publishing arm that can spot that stuff and empower them and help build them up, that would be like the real secret sauce. That's what I would be doing if I were in charge, is finding those small teams and small ideas and green lighting them. Whether or not they'll do it, I don't know, because it's a much cheaper bet to make to give a team of 5 people $1 million to make their game and hope that it turns into a Mecha Chameleon that sells 7 million copies. That's a much cheaper bet, and you can make a lot more of those than one $400 million bet that Concord or Highguard is going to be the next big thing, you know? So that's what I would pursue, but we'll see. We'll see. Sounds like Shuhei Yoshida's job. I'd hire him. I'd bring him in. I'd bring Sean Layden in. I'd bring like all these guys that were really good at finding those needles in a haystack, and I'd bring them in, and that's what we would do. Yeah. Sounds like A24 TBH, and guess who's finding a lot of success in the film space? Like, I think the future in a lot of creative endeavors is much less the big blockbuster houses, and it's going to be a lot more the smaller creative houses that are much tighter, much smaller, focus on the idea first and production scale later. So yeah, I think that's the way to do it. Yeah, anyway. Except A24 is mainstream as Marvel now. I mean, yeah, they have gotten really big, to be fair. Yeah. Are they? I don't think they're on the same level, I would say, as like Marvel or Disney or anything, but yeah, they're definitely everywhere. They've done a lot. Isn't that kind of what Phil Spencer tried to do and fail? Phil's vision was that he could buy up studios and that the studios within their umbrella would be allowed to make whatever they want to make. And it would basically be paid for by Call of Duty. But he wasn't involved in it. So like there were some pitches, I think, that were greenlit and that got made at Xbox that should not have been made. I think there were times where he should have said no to certain pitches. But he didn't want to step on toes. He didn't want to interfere. I think there are some studios and developers where you can trust them in whatever they want to make and just say, do whatever. Rockstar, do whatever, you know? But there's other studios where it's like, we still need it to be like not just artsy fartsy, we need it to be commercially viable. I think Kiln is a cool idea for a game. Like it's a fun, silly little thing. But this makes sense for like a team of 1 or 2 indie devs to work on, and the budget is crazy low, and you know, you play it for 45 minutes on a weekend and then that's it. It does not make sense for a massive team not a massive. I think they're like 100 people, or maybe like 30 or 40 people worked on this. But like this doesn't make sense to greenlight and spend a ton of money on. So like there were things like this where I would have kind of adjusted my approach and maybe said, hey, let's do something different. But overall, yeah, it's kind of what Phil wanted to do, but I think that he was too hands off. Like what I'm describing is going and picking individual projects that I think could be really successful. What Phil did is he just invited everybody into the tent, threw money in the air, and said, he's paying for it, pointing back at Call of Duty. And that works until that guy isn't making money anymore, or as much as you need to, which is kind of what happened. You know, you can have Daddy Warbucks pay for everything, and that's great until Daddy Warbucks gets investigated by the IRS, and all of a sudden he can't pay the bills anymore. That's kind of what happened when Call of Duty had one bad year, is like all of a sudden everything stopped making sense, which is what seems to have started the whole domino collapsing. Shifei, how are these devs even making 100+ a year? We have layoffs galore, millions of engineers everywhere, and still demanding that much, 25 per hour period. Well, I think a lot of it is just like you're at a world-class studio. That's the going rate for some of these people that have worked on some of these massive games, and so that's what they get paid. And also like 100+ K a year is a lot of money, especially in many parts of the world. In San Francisco, that's not that much. Like in San Francisco, that's not that much. Like it's if you've never pulled up Zillow and looked at house listings in San Francisco, you should do it. It'll be very humbling. You'll see a shack with a meth head in the bathroom, and it's $2.5 million. Like, it's outrageous. There are people that make like hundreds of thousands a year in San Francisco that are like literally living in a flat with like 5 roommates. Like, look it up. I'm not joking. It is unbelievable. Yeah, they pay that much to get their car stolen. Exactly. Like, San Francisco is unbelievable. So yes, it's a lot of money. In that part of the world, though, it's not. That's the point, is that if they paid that much and they were in the middle of Idaho, everybody's living like kings, but you're not in Idaho. You know, that's why I think a lot of studios are going to move. Why though? That's just San Francisco, baby. There's a lot of cities, especially California and New York. There's a lot of places like that are just crazy expensive. It's cool, but it's ridiculous. Yeah. Almost there. Can't believe we already have pre-orders for GTA 6 at midnight local time, and we still don't even know what Elder Scrolls 6 is about. I don't think they know. I think they're still figuring it out. They have to ask. I already forgot what it's called. What do they call it? The Microsoft AI Copilot. Shows how well they've pierced my mental veil. They got to ask Copilot, figure out what it's going to be written about. Armin Coleman, thank you for the 5 as well. Who do you think will win, Insomniac Wolverine or Black Panther? NHL Black Panther, my man. But I mean, he might win because of his suit. I think I'm gonna say Wolverine, but I honestly don't know. I'm not that well versed. I don't know. But I'm gonna say Wolverine. I feel like just the range, like he's got better reach, so I would imagine that helps. I would imagine that helps, but what do I know? Kakatua, thank you for the 5. I would love to see large companies give small devs like Valve did with Source after HL2. You think that's an alternative to direct AA funding? Yeah, there's all sorts of routes that they could go, but I think we're on the same page. The future and the key is find a way to empower those small teams with a good idea and, build them up and let them grow into the next massive studio or big successful studio. But we got to start planting some seeds. It feels like we have been chopping down the massive oaks for the last 10 years. And, Bungie is one of the biggest oaks to come crashing down as they've been, harvesting the wood and the resources. But at some point, you got to realize we got to start planting another forest. We got to start planting some stuff behind us for the next era, the next generation. We can't just extract value indefinitely. And that's where we're at now. So I hope that they are actually going to do that. I think that that's probably the best play, but it's also easier said than done. So, yeah. Doctor, thank you, Doctor. Thank you for the membership, my friend. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Okay. I think I'm caught up on all of this. Hell yeah. I got my GTA 6 in China, says Leo. I don't even know what that means, but hell yeah. By the time Elder Scrolls 6 drops, it will have been 84 years. It kind of feels like it, dude. It kind of feels like it. It will, this year is 8 years. It has now been over 8 years since the reveal of Elder Scrolls 6, and it has been almost 15 years since Skyrim released. Figure that one out. Hurts my brain, but that's where we are. Anyway. So what we're gonna do, fam? I didn't realize we've been going for 3 hours. Time flies when you're having fun. I'm gonna call it there. I've got to launch this video, and we have to do a couple of other tidbits around the house. I appreciate the gosh darn heck out of you guys for joining me. It's been a wonderful day, a wonderful morning. We've had a great time. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I will be back. The plan is for Friday, I believe. Hanging out, rocking and rolling. Cannot wait to see you there. Have a fantastic rest of your day. You are all amazing, stunning, brave, and beautiful as always. I will be back. Make sure to subscribe to everything. Blah, blah, blah. You've heard it before. Insert call to action here. Much love. I'll see you soon in the next one. Thank you for the very generous super chats and subs and stuff. You guys are incredibly generous. Aokishi, thank you for the sub over on Twitch too, my friend. Thank you. And if we get trailer 3 tomorrow, yeah, I'll probably make a video or we'll stream. We'll figure it out. If it happens. If it happens. Much love. I'll see you guys. Okay. Much love. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye. Mwah.